Welcome back, everybody. It is the summer season. The sun is coming out, and the weather is getting warmer. And so
God, it's
is
so fucking hot, dude.
and so is the production of anime in Japan because they made like 50,000 this season. So strap in because this is going to be a long one. But we are previewing the new anime coming out in the summer season. We have done our research. Some of us have done our research. Logan has done lots.
I like the correction.
I've done enough research for the four of us, I think.
Yeah, and hey, I appreciate you.
We have familiarized ourselves with the coming television shows, and we're gonna talk to you guys about them. But before that, we do an introduction at all of our preview episodes. So let's do that real quick.
Hey, what's up? I'm Juan. Also go by Tex-Mex. Normally, I'm prepared. Today, I'm not. I've been a busy boy. So I'll normally, we would like do our research and we would talk about each of these shows. But I've been busy, so I'll be reacting pretty much blindly throughout this entire podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's kind of like, imagine him in the bottom left, and he's like a React streamer, and he's reacting to our video. And then we just won't
pointing at
we
the
just
screen like,
won't
oh
talk.
shit, it's that show.
We won't talk to him the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, in Japan, the reality TV show, there's like the React Corner booth that they always have. We should move in there.
Okay. Anyway, I'm Chris. I'm one of the other hosts. I did my research. I spent hours of my life today watching a bunch of really bad trailers, and I'm here to bring you guys the news. So, you're welcome.
All right, I'm Logan. I am the group's manga correspondent. That means that I go through and I read at least the first chapter of every manga that's getting adapted to the anime that I can find, at least. And you're going to be hearing my voice a lot tonight because as there are like 7 billion anime, most of them are manga adaptations.
Yeah, it's
it
a lot
feels
this
like.
year, or this season.
And I'm Tim. I have also done my research, so I will be prepared today.
Yay! Woo! Let's go research. Okay. We're gonna split this up into two sections. The first section is going to be going through all of the new non-franchise or sequel shows, and then we will spend a brief section at the end talking about some of the sequels that are airing because there's a couple of. Actually, there's more. There's a pretty significant number of very high-profile sequels also airing in the season that also has like 10 million anime. So, we got a lot to get into. Let's start. We have 9: Ruler's Crown. Okay, so this is a visual novel adaptation of, I believe, a game with the same name. I have never heard of this. It is about a college town that is trying to do a little bit of tourism appeal. They made a little, they say high budget but poorly written anime based on its local folklore. And if this show sucks, I think it will be really, really funny that that's part of the premise. It's like there was a bad anime made about this town. I don't know if it's real. Anyway, this is like a low budget VN adaptation, and it looks like a cute girl vehicle, except I don't really think any of the girls are very cute. I don't know. I think they get superpowers or something, and it's a harem. I don't care. This doesn't look interesting to me at all. It's PRA. I don't even know who they are.
It's a pretty small studio. They have actually improved quite a bit in the last couple of years because they used to make like complete shit garbage, and like it actually looks decent.
Oh, they're the Bikini Warriors studio.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they had a rough beginning, but like I said they like leveled up last time. I think
this is at least
Hotel was fine, and this one was
Takara Hotel is our highest rated show.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, it was pretty rough.
There's a chance. There's a chance this is good, but who knows?
I doubt it.
I don't know. It's pretty weird we get a visual novel adaptation that's not like a fucking Maeda key anime bullshit thing. So,
right.
Let's see what this one's got for us, I guess.
I'll keep my eye out, but I am not super expectant, just kind of based on the premise. But yeah, I don't know if you're really into VN adaptations. I don't know why you would be. There's very few that are good, but all right. Next up is Ame to Kimi to, or With You and the Rain.
So the premise of this one is that a woman does not know what a dog looks like. And she meets Tanuki like in a box on the side of the road, and he literally holds up a sign that says "I am a dog," and she's like, "This is a dog," and she takes him home. And that was probably the closest thing to something funny happening in the first even like 3 or 4 chapters of this. Like the chapter 1 joke of woman does not know what a dog is was kind of all right, but when you get to chapter 3 and the joke is like, this vet is kind of weird, it just doesn't really stick at all. It's like barely above a 1 joker for me. I cannot recommend this.
However, the Tanuki's really cute. He's
The
really
yeah,
cute.
Look,
He's
It's
really cute, man.
The Tanuki is adorable, but like, yeah, that premise does not sound like it can do like a whole 12 episode show.
I agree,
think
but yeah, I'll let Tim
this
go.
is supposed to be a more like chill, relaxed, cute animal, vibe
Yeah,
show.
I think it's
rather
supposed to
than
be a
anything
vibe
that's,
show
like,
more than a comedy.
hijinks comedy kind of thing. I don't know what kind of vibes Logan was getting, but like
It does not have the
kinda-
comedy tag on Mal, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't trying to be. But yeah, I think this is meant to be more of a very like comfy Iyashike, like slice of life about
if it
like
has
a
a pet, it's like 90% like an Iyashike chill show. Like that's
And-
always how pet shows
and
go.
like I think the idea of a cute semi-sentient like almost Pokemon-esque pet is fun enough. And I like this trailer. Like I said, I think that the visuals are very good and looks very cozy, and the main woman is hot. So I don't know. Sure, maybe if I need to like watch a cute animal vehicle show that seems to be executing decently well, I could maybe see this one being fun and check it out. Yeah, I'm a little bit more positive on this one. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I
Good
think this is a
piece.
pretty one-note show. Like, yeah,
if
it's
you like
cute,
Donna
but like,
Keys.
that's about it.
All right.
I've heard some good things about it, but yeah, we can move on.
Next up is Bad Girl.
All right, so Bad Girl is about a girl who pretends to be a delinquent to get the attention of the disciplinary committee girl at school. And if you've never heard our podcast before, you've probably never heard me say the words, a rom-com is just a comedy that isn't funny or a romance that isn't romantic. That's kind of what I believe. I will say there is actually a remarkable amount of explicit flirting in this chapter 1, but 4 Yuri rom-com is a machine designed to stay still. So the main character either ignores or runs away from all of it. I personally am just getting really sick of like low self-esteem as a plot extender in these kinds of manga, because it leads to the exact same kinds of conflicts over and over again. And it goes without saying that the jokes are terrible. I actually kind of like the main character's friend character in the more dramatic sense, because she seems like legit hurt that the main character ignores her floating and insults her by proxy and all of that. But comedically, she is the most painful character of them all, because she's the Tsukomi, which is Japanese for guy who explains the jokes. So I'm filing this one under just look at the girl's Pixiv tag. Cannot recommend.
I don't know if I'm going to be tricked into watching like
I can't believe you. I can't
this kind of
believe
Yuri.
you.
I said I don't know. I think there might be better Yuri prospects this season if I really want. So I have no idea if this is going to be something that is worth it. At least it seems to have fine production values. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to get more of a read on this to know if it was like compelling or funny or the characters were cute in any way. But the name is kind of funny.
This is just kind of, anime TM kind of show to me.
I have no idea what that means.
Like, I mean, it's just like, this is what like your mom walks in and sees you watch anime kind of show.
What?
I kind of get what you mean, but I think it could be hornier for that to be funnier. I don't know. Like there are definitely some shows on this season that I would put that one down as a little bit more.
This is not very etchy.
This
No.
seems very like Yuri light PG kind of
Yeah.
cute Yuri kind of vibe thing.
Yeah.
If it was a lighter season, maybe Chris would give it interest, but
I might watch episode
knowing
1.
how stacked the season is, I do
Look,
not believe that you're
I don't want to.
I have a cadre of lesbians on Tumblr that I follow, and every single time a Yuri that has any merit comes out, they they watch it and start posting about it. So that's kind of my litmus test as far as Yuri goes these days. If I see them talking about it, then maybe I'll check it out, but probably not. Next up is Binan the Koko Chikyu Boebu Haikara.
All right, we go from one end of the spectrum to the other
Cute
end.
High Earth Defense Club Haikara. Who doing this?
That's you.
Cool. So never in my life have I seen a show for people with very, very specific kinks. If your very specific kink is period piece boys and yukatas that transform into maid magical girl outfits, it's a yaoi festival. Go crazy. I this is very niche, and for somebody, like, it's got to be for somebody. And I'm sure that person who this is for is very happy. This is not for me. Narrative wise, these guys are high school students that
wait, Chris.
Wait.
Do you not remember the show? It's the
Mm.
Magical Boy show.
No.
This came out in 2015. I distinctly remember watching this. I gave it this like a couple episodes because I'm like, oh, it's the Magical Boys instead of Magical Girls. It's not great.
But what do you mean it came out? It is coming out now.
This is a spin-off of that show.
Is it?
Yeah,
It
here,
is.
look.
Hold
It
on.
is.
Yeah.
Oh my
I can
god.
post- Yeah.
Are we
What,
talking about
cute-
Maho Shoujo Ore here?
No,
No,
Cute High
no,
School,
not that one.
Cute High Earth Defense Club Love in 2015. Wow. I do vaguely remember this coming out and hearing absolutely nothing. I mean, like, it's got a 682 on Mal. Okay, so this is a spinoff of another show that was bad. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like I just checked the related entries there, and I'm like, wait, I recognize that name. And then I saw it watched on my show, or no, it says dropped on my end.
Oh, excellent. So you actually have a little bit more of a game. in
Yeah,
it.
dropped in 2 episodes.
That's
And
really
I
fun.
rated it a 5.
Cool. Anyway, if that was your thing back then, or it sounds like it's your thing, yeah, check it out. The boys are, I guess, sexy. If that's, I mean, they look a little like pointing, or not point and click, copy and paste to me. I don't know. Anything else on this one?
No.
Cool. Next one's a little bit more interesting. We got Bullet.
Is this a spin-off of Kill la Kill? Bullet?
You wish. No.
So this one is an original about this like a punk. It was like the desert war-torn thing.
It's a little Mad Max, yeah. It's how
a little Mad Max post-apocalypse kind of thing about a guy taking on a mission from a girl and to like deliver something, and in the delivery a bunch of assassins are trying to kill them or doing a journey kind of thing. This is another anime by Park, who did the first
Park
JJK
Sang-ho.
and
Or Sung-Hoo.
also did Ninja Camry, which we will not talk very much about. But like this feels like he was given more of a free reign. This seems more his style, where it's very much like action packed, where he like definitely like excels in, and it seems like a lot of like high energy and fun, and it actually looks like it has potential. And if this one flops, then I will never trust this work again.
I was gonna say, you say we shouldn't talk about it, but at this point, I think we need to be honest with ourselves and say that Park Sung-ho is very talented at action choreography, but at this point, he has an extremely mixed track record as a director. Like, let's be real here. He's got JJK and he's got JJK 0 as his pluses, and then he's got God of High School and Ninja Kamui, which are stinkers. I just have to be real.
That's why I'm like, this is the make or break, because it looks really good.
It
looks like a lot of fun.
I agree
and
that I think this one has potential.
Like there was no like bullshit intervention telling him what to do kind of thing.
I just don't know. I don't know. I worry about his storytelling capabilities if so many of the, I don't know, more original ones tend to be bad. But this one has a giant talking polar bear in it, so who am I to say?
I mean,
yeah.
God of High School at least was,
God of High School was pretty fun.
It was an adaptation.
Yeah. It was also an adaptation of a bad webtoon.
Ninja Camry, I feel like it has the Adult Swim stink.
Yeah, this is Disney, so hopefully
that always makes me respond. Yeah. So this is the make or break it for me. If this is good, then I'll believe him. This is flop, then I would never
there
trust
is enough going on in the trailer that is interesting to me. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like breaking any new boundaries of originality, but it looks cool. So I'm at least
high octane, it's fun, it's cool. It looks like it looks like it'll be a very entertaining watch. And for Park, that's all I really want from his work.
And again, I can't stress this enough. There is a gigantic talking polar bear. That's one of the main characters. So
I want to point out the name of the characters in this show.
Oh, yeah.
There are a group of characters called Brunch, Lunch, and Dinner.
that's kind of awesome.
There's another character called Afternoon Tea, just straight up afternoon tea.
Yeah.
Like, all together.
I assume it's something to go with. And the polar bear's name is Polar Bear. It's Shirokuma, which is white bear.
It's just polar bear.
Polar bear. Much kind of like Panda in JJK. So
And then Tempura Sushimaru.
yeah, that's also an awesome name. Okay, maybe this. I think I've decided this rules. So
Batting Center Saito.
definitely checking.
Destroy Inu. Oh my god. And it's a buff dog, like a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
He looks like
man.
the annoying dog from Undertale, or the night dog from Undertale.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. He does.
Okay, yeah, I'm in on this song.
Yeah, I mean, I was in
now.
already on the because it was Park Sung-ho, but like, yeah, why not? I didn't finish Ninja Kamui, but yeah.
For better or worse, this is gonna be batch drop.
Okay,
and
so
two sets
well,
of 6.
then we'll know for sure.
So it'll be 6 episodes July 16th and 6 episode August 13th.
Oh, okay. I actually much prefer that to the full batch drop. That's nice. We can get through the first bit and then the second, and be ready when the second one comes out. Okay, moving on. This is our first isekai. This is Busamin Gachi Fighter. Logan did the pre-read for this.
Yep, I had to read this.
It's this show.
Yeah. Hey, why did he go like the whole chapter without his trillion stat points? Like the whole point is that he makes himself super ugly and then gets a trillion stat points, and he doesn't actually get the trillion stat points until the end of the episode. Like I'm getting Surf Dracula'd by an anime of all things.
I don't know
anyway,
if anyone knows that reference, but that's okay. I do.
It's fine. Anyway, an isekai is a comedy that isn't funny, an action show with lame fights, or a fantasy that feels mundane. And brother, sometimes it's all three. I cannot recommend this.
This is the Ugly Bastard isekai, and man, that sure is a premise, huh? Just look,
That's
just
really
because
all it is.
an isekai exists without a gimmick doesn't mean it has to be made, you know.
I just
can't believe White Fox is doing this.
Me too.
White Fox
That was my biggest surprise. It doesn't.
That's
You wouldn't believe
crazy.
it if you watched the trailer. They are phoning it in. It's pretty whatever.
They're slumming it.
I mean,
man.
they already have ReZero that they're working on. That's their
Yeah.
like cash cow right now.
I mean, they did like. This is not an insult. I'm not trying to insult Sengoku Yoko, but I think Sengoku Yoko was maybe not the best production in the universe at times too. So clearly
That was like their C team.
they don't. I mean, I just think that maybe White Fox gets a little bit too much praise sometimes, and they're not as consistent as people would like to think. But anyway, I don't think any of we care about the rest of.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
good. There was a really funny shot. I paused in the trailer. I should have screenshotted it. It was just all the characters standing side by side. I was like, anyway. Okay.
That's seeing the ugly bastard next to the normal characters is the only
funny,
thing in the entire manga.
And I could believe there's gonna be some like Gatmoe comedy from that to some extent, where it's just like he is so out of place in the show, and like, but he's also probably like a very nice and normal guy.
Really.
Okay, no, never mind. I was gonna say, and even if that was
He's
the case,
kind of
just
an
watch.
ugly bastard down to his core.
You can watch either Isekai Oji-san, which is hilarious, or you can watch the villainous dad one from last season, which not quite the same, but you know, better. Okay, Logan, tell us about this romance that I'm sure you loved.
All right. Busu ni Hanataba wo. So I'm gonna go. Oh, the premise of this one is that a girl is not very attractive and she has low self-esteem. That's all. So I'm issuing a warning to all mangaka. If you open your manga with panels from an in-universe manga and then have your main character say something like, "This could never happen to me," I'm coming to your house with a doohickey. I'm sick of this. So page 1 soured me pretty hard on this otherwise pretty banal romance manga. The dialogue is wildly over-explanatory for something as simple as I have low self-esteem due to my physical appearance. But at least main character girl has a personality trait, though, as oversold as it is, because main character guy wouldn't even make page 6 of Non-Threatening Boys magazine. There is absolutely nothing to this besides the premise, so if that doesn't excite you in any way, and I really don't think it should, don't bother.
Yeah, I am sorry, and I understand that this problem is pretty consistent across media. It is especially prevalent in Hollywood, but like I just don't think that she's very cute. She's a cute girl. I'm sorry. They're not selling that she's ugly very well. I don't know if the manga does a better job, but especially in the anime, like she makes some faces, but she is like I think pretty objectively cute. So it kind of takes me out of it. I think this is just a Sayori Hayama vehicle show, and I don't know, Spy Family season 4 is coming out in the fall. I can wait. I feel like I've seen this show in my mind already, and I'm sure it's cute and I'm sure it's fine, but it would have to do a lot of work to convince me to watch it.
I don't know. I feel very little potential in the show. Like the PV was pretty static
Yeah,
throughout.
it was kind of, like I said, it's like I said, it's a if you really really like Sayori Hayami, then go for it.
She's in lots of other things this season.
I know.
You got
She's a workhorse. She's in lots of stuff. Okay, next up is Cat's Eye.
All right, this season's Boomer remake. So I guess I can go ahead and explain the plot now. So basically, there's these group of sexy lady thieves who like steal like art and diamonds and stuff. No, they only steal art. I remember this because there's a bit in the what's it called? Description of the show that isn't in the entire first 3 chapters that explains why they're stealing all this stuff. Anyway, it's kind of not important. The kind of complication is that one of them is dating the main cop who is working on the Cat's Eye case, and she's ostensibly juicing him for information, but she's also kind of caught feelings for him, which sounds a lot more interesting than it actually turns out to be. In practice, it basically just makes them both kind of look like idiots. Like, he can't figure out the world's easiest mystery. Like, hold on, seriously. If any of you were a detective and the Phantom Thief Nut Bar anime podcast seemed to have an encyclopedic knowledge of information that you've told me, and you didn't figure out what was going on, I would have your house checked for a gas leak. But anyway, like, she decides to save his career in the first chapter, and then in the second chapter, she's all on his case to quit his job the next. And it's like, it feels less like she's working through her complicated feelings about him, and more that the author is using complicated feelings as an excuse to just keep us away from the fireworks factory. The characters just kind of feel like they're acting at random. And they've already kind of established in chapter 1 that there's going to be no drama between the sisters about this. So there's another avenue of intrigue that's just kind of shut down for construction. And I wanted to like this on a like heist movie level, because heist anime are kind of rare, but it didn't click like that either. Like, they pulled the same, actually, the thieves were really disguised as workers on site, trick twice in 2 chapters. And it also commits a pretty capital offense for me by fainting at a really cool idea, by making the main character girl tightrope between 2 skyscrapers before faking that out and surprise she isn't actually going to do that, blah, blah, blah. I hope the anime can make this feel a bit more stylish, but I still don't think I can recommend it either on the level of character drama or on the level of a slick heist show. So yeah, I don't think that this is particularly good.
I'd like to hear if Tim has any thoughts before I give mine.
You don't want to go first?
I just was gonna say that this is one of the worst trailers I've ever seen in my life,
No,
because it is.
no.
It is because they keep cutting back and forth. I'm not kidding. I think 5 or 6 times to this extremely hideous, very badly CGI'd like calling card, like the thief's calling card, that just kind of floats around in the screen like a Windows screensaver. Between footage of the anime, which doesn't look very impressive either. It made me mad, and that is enough to make me not want to watch it. And I don't know. I appreciate the attempt to kind of have an old style of anime, but it's that kind of, we're trying to do an old style but in a new digital era look that ends up looking kind of flat and weird. And I feel like there haven't been too many shows that really have nailed it yet. I think Gaiba this season is doing a good job of it, but I don't know.
It's a shame that like you say like the animation's like kind of stiff because like I feel like this is something that would be like up my friend Tessa's like alley because like she loves like old manga. Like, I'm sure she knows about this.
Check it out if you want. I don't know. Don't let my thing. I don't know. If there's more to it, then maybe it'll be good. But I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a little rough. It's Linen Film, whose stuff all very like hit or miss, usually more on the miss side. But I don't know. For me, like any excuse to get people to like engage in old anime / manga again is always a plus because like no, in this day and age, anything older than like 2015 is ancient and no one touches it.
Yeah,
so,
I agree that's
this
cool.
Is what it takes people to watch.
There are better. There's probably better older shows that you could reboot. You know what I mean? Like stuff like your Ranmas and your Yatsuras versus like.
I mean, they did. They all got remakes.
Well, that's why I was using them as an example, Tim, or even Yaiba. Anyway, yeah,
like, they did already. Like, what other show? What should they done instead of Cat's Eyes? What I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. Someone with a better taste in the older shows should curate and find better picks. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch this, but we'll see. Okay.
All right, City the animation. Every season, there's a comedy that just completely fails to make me laugh. But sometimes, if I've been very good, there is a manga that cracks me up just as good as the first time I've read it. So, City, there's not really a consistent plot. It's a screwball ensemble comedy from the creator of famous screwball ensemble comedy Nichijou, and it could have easily felt like a desperate, like, hey, let's Nichijou again type ploy if Keiichi RY had lost even a step, but he hasn't. City can, in 30 pages, do like twice the exposition work that a lesser manga could do in 60 without ever turning off the comedy fire hose. Like, on page 1, we know Nagamo is a bum who never takes responsibility. By page 4, we know the exact dynamic between her and her best friend / parasitic host, Nikura. A few pages after that, Nagamo's made her first contact with the Makabe family and her fate is sealed. I skipped over like 3 different character introductions in there and we're not even halfway done with the chapter. And I cannot stress enough, the jokes are there. It never sacrifices a bit of comedy to make this whole thing work. It actually gains a lot of points because, and I made the joke earlier that Tsukomi is the Japanese word for guy who explains the joke, but the Tsukomi rarely ever just sits there staring at the camera to explain the joke. Now, I don't think, having read quite a lot of it a while ago, that this is quite as strong as Nichijou, and maybe fans should keep their expectations a little bit tempered, but like weaker than Nichijou is still stronger than the vast majority of anime comedies, so this is a strong, full-throated recommendation for me. I can't wait for this one.
Like, as someone who's actually seen the entirety of Nichijou way before you guys do, well, I guess Tim has also seen the show. Nichijou has always been my like standard for comedy. I'm like, if you can be as consistently funny as Nichijou, like
is a fucking... that's a pretty high standard there, Blood. I just want to say, yeah.
Well, okay, sorry, I misspoke. I meant to say like. It's not my bar,
like the gold standard, like gold the standard. Yeah, sure.
That's what I mean. Because like I think like Nichijou will always be like my number 10 favorite anime, just to like gatekeep all the other shows.
That's funny.
If the like the same author like is able to like keep up that style of humor throughout this other work, then like fuck yeah, I'm so excited for this. Especially with KyoAni being
I was gonna say, it is actually genuinely moving to me that KyoAni is doing this adaptation of this manga in the current year, just especially with after everything that happened with KyoAni, that they're like back and strong enough to do it. It is kind of beautiful, actually, in a way. And so I am thrilled that this is happening. It is a big moment for anime.
I don't mean it like in a mean way or anything, but like it's been like 5 years, I think.
It's definitely been long enough. Like they've made plenty of good shows since then. Like
KBK 3,
KBK season 3.
Yes, like I would hope that like by now they did
the Violet. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm not trying to say. I just think that it's awesome that KyoAni is the team that got this, because it could have been a bunch of different studios. You know what I mean? But it's KyoAni, so we all know just because I think KyoAni is one of the few studios like left around in the industry that you can expect a level of sauce and like capability that you really don't get across the board. You know what I mean? Like there are very few studios that have the consistent track record, and especially just because like they made Nichijou, they know what they're doing, kind of thing. So, I made a joke in our group chat. I was like, haha, if KyoAni's coming back after 10 plus years to revive an old classic from old source material, then maybe there's still hope regarding a certain season 3 of a certain hit light novel series that has plenty of other books to adapt.
This guy still
Second to
believes.
copium, that would never happen.
Bro, I was on the forums back in the day in like 2013 when people were freaking out.
Don't fucking dox us for how old we are, Chris. Jesus.
Whatever. Look, I'm just saying the Haruhi season 3 cope is over 10 years at this point, which is pathetic. So, anyway.
Chris, I hate to say it. It's over 15 years now.
Well,
Season
yeah,
2
I guess
shows
this would be
9.
10 is when Disappearance came out. It's
Oh,
yeah,
you're
it's
right.
we're
You're
not
right.
quite, but yeah, it's about 15.
We'll get in there.
I wouldn't say the season 3 cope really started until like the later 2010s though. That's when I would say the cope officially started, but we're way off topic. Let's move on.
With,
We're all excited for City. Oh, Tim, I don't know if you have more to say, but yeah.
I'm just interested to curious, like when I was saying like with like Cat's Eye, like everything older than like 2015 is kind of ancient. How many people actually have seen the original Nichijou? Because like even in this group, I know some people here haven't seen it yet.
I have seen over half of it. I just haven't finished it.
But I'm curious how many people in like this current climate of anime fans have actually seen Nichijou.
I think Nichijou has some real staying power. I feel like I still see
I think
people...
it has no staying power, but I think a lot of the current anime fans didn't want anime fans back when Nichijou was like came out.
No, it's just something that they saw
Probably
clips
have
of
not
and...
seen Nichijou since. So this might be their first like experience to Kenichi's.
I have great news, which is that after however many episodes this gets, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 core yet. Once they're done and they're like, "Damn, I want more of this," they can just go back and watch Nichijou, which is a real treat. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Clevites Maju no O to Akogo to Shikabane no Yusha, or Clevites. Just that, I guess. Or the King of the Devil Beasts, the Baby, and the Brave of Undead is the full English translation.
No, it should just be Clevites.
That works. That's easier to say.
Yeah, I'm good with just Clevites. So maybe I'm just like completely mind broken by isekai, but this kind of edgy normal fantasy didn't feel all that bad. The premise here basically is that there's like, I don't know, there's like humans and they're all kind of boxed into this one corner of the continent, and they're boxed in by these like demon beasts, and then some of them go out to fight one of this demon beast named Clevites, and he's like, curious, these man animals, they're starting to get testy, maybe I should kill all of them. And then he goes to a city, kills a bunch of people there, and then somebody's like, hey, take this baby. If the baby grows up nice, don't kill everybody, or something to that general effect. It's a guy kind of like the monster guy kind of learning about the world type story, which is relatively interesting. Like the world doesn't feel completely arbitrary. And characters with real goals like don't solve their own plots just by existing, which is a pretty low bar, but it's still a rare clear for something with the word Yusha in the title. The art in the first chapter is awesome. Like there's these heavy blacks and sparse whites that make the world feel like it's being cleaved out of shadows. Demon Beast Clevites himself is a really good design. He's almost like Likagon from Shangri-La Frontier, but more obviously made of shadow. I have to specify Demon Beast Clevites because I will literally never forgive the author for immediately giving him a lame human form that he uses all the time in chapter 2. I hate it when manga do that. The problems in Clevites are less obvious to me, but like by the end, I just didn't like reading it that much. Something about the way Clevites talked, the really pretty nighttime scenes giving way to some very regular ass daytime scenes. The fact that the undead hero servant was physically incapable of going against his commands, which limits her potential to oppose him, which she is trying to do, which is kind of cool, but also, like, if she can't avoid his commands at all, then, you know, what can she actually do? It's not really satisfying. Like, I don't know. This is the kind of thing where if, like, somebody comes back to me and says, this is that heat, then I might capitulate. But it's, like, just barely on the edge if I don't really recommend this.
Okay. Tim, do you have any thoughts on this one before I...
Are you going to butcher it?
No. I was pretty positive on this trailer. But I want to hear what you have to say.
I think I liked what I saw. Like, it's a fantasy that's actually a fantasy and not like here's a generic platform for an isekai overpowered character. It's like very reminiscent of like what fantasy actually should be. I was it kind of confused about the story plot going through the PVs. Like, I don't know why he has the baby or who gave him the baby or what's really going on, but like
that's explained pretty much immediately.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I did not really understand it from the trailer. It was just like a bunch of cool shots that they were like showcasing, which, I mean, cool, good for them. I know this one's going to be an hour-long premise, so those kind of things usually tells me that they're kind of committing to make, you know, they usually have big hopes for shows when they give an hour-long premiere.
Yeah.
And it looks like they are killer promises. So I'm hopeful for actual fantasy. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
I thought that I was of course coming into the trailer with my heart hardened and cold because it's fantasy and I have certain expectations of what that's going to be like. But I just have to give credit where credit is due. This was a very good trailer. It has a lot of incredibly cool action shots. It has some just like very vibrant and unique cinematography. There are some really interesting and compelling like just visual shots that they show in the trailer. Which is a little bit different than just like good action because there's like some artistry behind it as well. The character designs are pretty unique across the board. The main character girl with the eye, like the eye patch and the big gash on her face is a neat design. It feels a little Chuny adjacent to some extent, and I don't know if we're going to be beating those allegations necessarily yet, but I think there's just enough sauce going on here that I am at least compelled to check out episode 1 is kind of where I'm at. So I could see this being really good, and I could see this being like cool but fine, or bad. We'll see.
I mean, like, as the one who's blind here, this just looks like generic isekai to me.
It's not isekai.
Literally,
paying any attention.
I know it's not isekai. I know, but I'm saying like it's like that kind of vibe.
I think that you didn't watch the trailer and that you would have a better opinion.
Well, yeah, no, I did not watch the trailer. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like,
he did not. He's just looking at the art, the picture, and that's what he's.
I agree, and that's the vibe you're gonna get based on that.
Just the key art and the synopsis here.
And what I'm afraid of is most people are gonna have one reaction. They're just gonna see this and be like, "Oh, it's just."
I don't know. Most people see that kind of shit.
Generic isekai, and they're like,
yum. Yeah, okay, we had the same thought. I was like, they see that and they're like, I will watch this. So I don't know.
I mean, there's obviously the isekai consumer junkies who will watch anything, but like I feel like most people should probably give this a try. But
yeah, I'm definitely, this is a definite like I got my eye on this one type thing, and I could see it being pretty cool.
I'm still not gonna check out episode 1. Like if Chris wants to, he can watch it and then be like, yeah, I'm down to watch.
I'm surprised after Logan was kind of hot on it, and then I said the trailer was good. That's not enough for you to be like.
No,
okay.
Still, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just not feeling it on this one. I'm not.
Okay.
I saw Ellie Goulding doing the.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Ellie Goulding is doing the ending. It was yes. So I had heard about it because Logan talked about it or something earlier in the chat.
I posted about it in the chat.
Yeah, Tim posted, and I was like, "That's crazy." I think I saw it on ANN too, but like. Actually hearing the song in the trailer, I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess this is the one that she's doing."
Okay, you know what? No, I'm
just an absolutely wild, just an absolute. Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. based just on the clip that I heard, one of the better Ellie Goulding songs I've heard in a long time, for the record. So good for
Little
her.
known fact about Juan here. I'm a big Ellie Golden fan.
I didn't know that.
You did not have any reaction when I
Hey,
posted.
I really
I'm
like.
busy. Like
I
I
really
said,
like.
If I don't react to the chat, then it just means I'm busy.
Is Lights the name of her first album? I like that one a lot.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, her first album's great. I love it.
So that's like classic old middle school Chris.
Dude, she got married to Skrillex. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is actually crazy. Wow, good for them. What a power couple.
I mean, that's why she had to make music for the longest time.
I mean, I thought she's been. We're so sidetracked. Anyway, let's talk about anime. Next up is Dekken no Mogura. Or the Earthbound
this
Bowl.
This one got assigned to me, but I didn't read it. I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
So if you've
Too
seen
bad.
the trailer, you know more than me.
Yeah, this is about a guy who is apparently he has been banned from the afterlife, and so he's going around and collecting ghosts in his lantern to maybe try to redeem himself. So basically, it's kind of like your typical like ghost show. He monster of the week. He can see strange happenings and phenomenons and collect some human companions to go along with him. This has a unique art style, is how I would describe it. It's like almost a chibi-esque, but I don't know.
I like the background, the actual character designs themselves. Feels a little out of place.
Do not like it. That's what I was going to say.
You don't like the background?
No, the characters. It's kind of a turn off. I'll be completely honest. I was going to say, I think this genre has been pretty explored recently. Like we've had a lot of ghost hunting adjacent shows, and also this is airing in the same season as Dandadan season 2. Am I really gonna watch this when I can just go watch Dandadan season 2? Probably not. I
don't think it's the same vibe, but sure.
It's still still supernatural type shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think this leads more to the mystery, and Dandadan leads more towards the action comedy.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I don't think the character design like turns me off as much as Chris does, but they do feel a little out of place compared to the background. Like
it's more like
stick out.
That plus the rest of it being a little bit not very interesting to me, and so I would have to hear very good things about this, and we'll see. But I'm not super interested personally. Okay, next up is Fermat no Ryori.
All right. So I do have to confess that I wound up reading this one. What's it called? I wound up finding this one after I thought I was done with the pre-read, so it got dinged a little bit in my estimation because I was reading it after hours, like it was on overtime for me, so I was kind of mad while I was reading it. But I really did not see a whole lot of promise in this. Basically, it's like a guy who goes to school for math. And he's supposed to be like really good at math, and then he like screws up some kind of math competition or something, and then he gets kicked out of school, but he meets a Danganronpa guy who like wants to teach him cooking because he's apparently good at cooking. Honestly, I'm not sure why we bothered with all of the math stuff in all of this, but there was at one point a pretty neat little like eating food that makes you see through time montage. But the rest of it, I was not particularly enthused.
Cooking yaoi. Whoa.
We're breaking new ground here.
That's all I have in my notes. I think the premise is like kind of interesting, but also has the potential to be just incredibly stupid. Like, and maybe they'll lean into the fact that it's incredibly stupid. It'll be like, whoa, using the power of math, I will make fettuccine Alfredo or whatever. So,
well, Chris, there is a character in Food Wars that does exactly that.
See, that's the thing.
They can do stupid because we've done Food Wars and it shows that it works. I just hope we get like less tentacles in this one. I don't know. Food in anime is always delicious looking. So if it's anything like that, I would take it. But I'm not super hopeful in the studio or the PV. It looks kind of on the weaker side of things. But it's food. I'll give it a try, I guess.
Yeah, I've already seen Food Wars. I'm not like
the anime food do be looking good if that's the kind of show.
Yeah,
but that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. But I'm not.
It's not enough for me to try to check it out.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, actually, speaking of food anime, is Food Court de Mata Ashita, or See You Tomorrow at the Food Court.
I think this is the closest that I have ever come to both believing in and liking a slice of life. This is literally just two girls talking at the food court about their relatively mundane lives. But it kind of had the vibe of like the part of the Northern Lion stream where he starts telling a story about something that happened to him in the grocery store. And it's very self-consciously little. Like it's, they're not little people with little stories that are a little funny and a little profound. I even felt comfort, not comfy, that's code for boring, but an actual feeling of peace in my chest for a few fleeting moments. The problem with this, in my estimation, is that both anime and manga are active activities. I have to pay attention to them to hear to understand what the people are saying, in a way that live stream anecdotes can be passive. Even at its relatively short length, I found myself getting kind of bored putting my full attention on this manga, and I can only imagine how much worse that would get as a full-length anime episode. If I spoke Japanese, though, this would be excellent second screen content, but I cannot imagine it holding my attention for 24 minutes at a time. I'm not going to watch it, but for once, I can firmly recommend it to anyone who likes quote-unquote comfy shows, because it comforted even my cold, blackened heart.
I do want to point out that it is 6 episodes and not 12.
Yeah, it's a half
Yeah,
length.
it's
show.
half season.
So you
So
wouldn't have to
is
do
it
it
still
all.
24 minutes though?
Probably.
Not in the
I think,
shorts.
yeah, I think they're probably full length.
It's aiming at a normal time slot, so it's
Okay.
going to be 30 minutes.
Okay. Then I mean, yeah, like if it's a comfy show that even comforted Logan, I'm like, holy shit, it's gonna fucking suck our dicks off with comfort. Well, when me and Chris watch it, Jesus.
Yeah. I will say, he who must not be named has spoken extremely highly about this manga, and so I am hopeful that the adaptation will be good.
Ooh,
and
that's also very high
this
praise.
is the one that he was the most excited about, I think, out of anything that was airing this season.
That's interesting.
So I also, there's an official KFC sponsorship. Huge.
Hey, we're trying to get some chicken.
I think, my notes say that this is going to have to ride on the writing, since it's basically just two girls shooting the shit the entire time. And from what Logan says, the writing is strong. So I am down. The voice acting performances seem to be pretty good based on the trailer, which is the other thing that I think would need to carry this show. So I am definitely going to check it out.
Well, sorry, Hayami is voicing one of the girls. So
Yeah.
and Fukuyama
She's one of the supporting girls.
One of the
One of
supporting
supporting
girls.
Supporting.
The main girls are
Bochi is the main girl.
Yori Mizaki.
Oh.
So talented people.
No,
No, Yoshino
They're the other one.
Aoyama.
Oh, then
Oh,
I'm
Yoshino.
getting them mixed up.
Miyazaki is a brand new seiyuu.
Yeah, she's
brand new.
brand new.
First role. Good for her. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'll check it out. I'm
I
interested.
definitely want to check this out for sure.
Anything else on this one?
Nah, we good. Let's go.
I think it's cool
I'm
that
good.
it's 6 episodes. I know that might be like a weird take, but I kind of wish more
we've never
shows would do
seen
that.
I don't
No, you
think
see,
I've ever
you see it
seen
occasionally,
It happens.
but
It's better to just be shorter than to have bad pacing.
That's what I was gonna say. I wish that there were that shorter manga adaptations would just be like that sometimes. Okay.
Just admit it.
Next up is Futari Solo Camp.
Or Solo Camping
yeah.
for Two.
Yeah, solo camping for 2.
Futari Solo Camp. I think it would have been like really funny of me to pretend that this is a big, beautiful manga about the joy of the outdoors and a serious adult relationship to see if you guys just die from the whiplash of the trip onto boobs scene. But unfortunately, my integrity as a quote unquote journalist has spared you. Yeah, Blackheart Logan hates the relationship. But you know what really sucks in this camping manga? The depiction of the outdoors. The big reveal of the constellations over the woods is absolutely hideous. The trees look like he put like a Snapchat manga filter over a picture of actual trees and are extremely over detailed as a result. The stars all kind of look like smudges, and the characters' poses don't make any spatial sense to me at all. And yeah, this is like, it's vaguely like a Kohai teasing manga, but they're both adults basically. That's the whole plot. I can't recommend it.
All I'm saying is if you step to the goat, you best not miss. And I'm sorry to say for Futari Solo Camp, but I think that they're missing. This looks like copied homework to me from the trailer. I'm just going to be completely honest. they are clearly going for a certain vibe made famous by a certain show. So
I still want to give this show a shot.
oh
though.
my god, don't. It's a waste of your time, please.
I want to give it a shot. It's camping
The
and
trailer-
it's also like a romance kind of.
The trailer was so whatever. I don't know. You have fun by yourself.
I'll do it. Also, I want to point out that Futari Solo Camp. My first thought was Futanari Solo Camp. I'm like, that's a completely different thing.
That's Dojin.
Jesus Christ, Juan.
Yeah, I will not be watching this. I just thought you'd be a little bit more protective of one of your favorite anime. I don't know.
I mean, I am, but like, I don't know. I don't gatekeep. I'm like, hey, it's another camping show. Oh boy, 2 cakes.
Yeah, Juan, but one of the cakes is made out of shit.
Oh no.
It's a mud pie, thank you.
I will say maybe the anime will do a better job at the backgrounds and the environment.
I hated kind of complaining about the art so much because I know that the art doesn't transfer over, but I figured this probably wasn't getting like the A1 steak sauce adaptation. So
No.
It is Studio Synergy SP who has done like kind of like they're like a very standard.
Yeah, they're a very middle of the pack.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're back. But
Like Henjin, No Salad Bowl, Kanajo, Kalanajo, a couple of Cuckoos, like those kind of shows.
if it gets the vibes down, I'm for it.
Yeah, me too.
And like we had Mono, but Mono was just like barely any camping.
I mean, like Mono is like.
I mean, the
Mono's not a
like
camping
teased a little
show.
bit of camping, but they teased a little bit of camping, and now I'm in the mood for it. So this is like.
I mean, like I don't think
fine.
camping's the focus on the show. I think it's more on the romance or the kohai teasing.
I'm pretty from the trailer. It's on the camping. I'm telling you,
Okay.
one. It's
I
copied
think
homework.
it's just vibes on the camp,
Okay.
and
Anyway.
I need a camping show now.
Then go for it. If you need that, I would just rewatch Your Camp season 1. But yeah, go for it. All right. Next up is a pretty big one. It's Gachiakuda.
Ooh, this was my like most forward-looking show of the year
That's crazy.
Uh-oh.
The year?
Of the year?
Uh-oh.
Are you sure?
for like new show. Well, that's not like a sequel, at least.
Okay. Because like Witch Hat Atelier is coming out this year, allegedly, or whatever.
but like I've heard.
Yeah, but he's less hot in that than you are for sure.
well, he hasn't
Well, I
read
mean,
it.
like, I haven't read it, but like this one, like I've read like a little bit of it. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
All right.
But Logan,
It's-
give us your pre-read.
All right. Well, now this is awkward because this is going to be a negative review. It
Oh,
feels
shit.
weird. It feels weird to judge a manga by a single moment, and it's not just this single moment that put me off of Gachiakuta. It's this moment that finally like pushed me off the horse. Like it was the straw that broke the camel's back. But anyway, here I go to do just that. So the main character, railroaded for the murder of his mentor by prejudiced police, faces execution. And just before they drop him down to certain death, he turns to see his childhood crush. And somehow, over the din of the crowd, he hears her say, "I guess you are just a murderer like your father." Now, I want to be perfectly clear. She has every reason to believe in the main character here. She knows the police are prejudiced against them. She knows he has no real reason to murder his own surrogate dad. She was sort of defending him from people who were getting all genetic fallacy about him earlier. And she was like talking with him literal minutes before he got arrested, and he wasn't acting like he had just killed somebody. It felt incredibly contrived and clearly only there so the main character can get all, "Everybody betray me. I am fed up with this world," in chapter 2. And I don't know, it's that same melodramatic tragedy maxing that eventually seeps into the soil of a lot of edgy works. And I'm personally glad that the author kind of tipped their hand early enough that I didn't really get the chance to get invested. It's a shame because I think the character designs are really good, and like the visual contrast between like the stark, clean, rich part of town and the very like cluttered and shaded poor part of town is nice. If you're like really desperate for more Dorohedoro, this might service a need of yours, but I'm not.
This feels,
and
I hate to be mean, but like this feels a little bit more juvenile than Dorohedoro. I would compare it more to like Shonen Jump Fair than something that's more firmly seinen and a little grittier like Dorohedoro, but that's not a knock against this necessarily. I didn't read it, so I don't know, but that's not the vibe I got. I don't know.
Don't think
Dorohedoro was
a
just
good comparison to the show, other than I guess like they're both kind of like gritty, but different levels of grittiness for sure.
Sure.
It's less gritty, but like even then, I don't know. I was not feeling this one at all.
Since Juan's read some of it, what did you think? Also,
Okay, I lied. I did not read some of this.
he's a liar.
I watched a video like that was like reviewing like parts of the manga and like how like the art direction and the like the story like goes crazy, especially like, to like where it is like at that point in the manga.
So what's interesting about the manga for Gacha Kuda is that it's a mangaka and a graffiti artist that does the artwork for the manga.
Yeah, that was
cool.
like the main part of it. So like it has like that kind of like street style to it.
Oh, it's not. It's Shonen Magazine. It's not Jump. I thought it was Jump.
No, yeah,
Okay.
No, it's Shonen Magazine.
but yeah, like
That is a really unique, like, premise or setup for something, for sure.
it is, yeah. So like I understand Logan's like kind of like poor first impression of it, but like I really want Logan to like really give it a shot. Like
I think this has the credits to genuinely like warrant an episode 1 for sure. It's trying to be a big new shonen, I think. So
it's also being animated by Bones.
well, it's Bones Film.
It's their
Well,
B
no,
team, yes.
Bones Film is basically Bones at this point. It's kind of more of a reprint than anything.
Yeah, they did
like,
Vigilantes. That's the only other thing they
My
did.
Hero, the new My Hero is also Bones Film.
Yeah.
And like all the works now are now Bones Film instead of Bones. I don't fully understand why, but that's how they're doing it.
Like
For the record, never once said this looks ugly. The art is the best part about it. It was just
the character
other
designs
stuff
are really cool, and the weapons are really cool. All the combat in the trailer, I was like, okay, if this is ass, I think it would be fun to watch the fights. But
the video was also about like the power system and stuff. Like, let me see if I could find that video.
It's interesting. There is enough intrigue here. We'll see if this narrative stuff that Logan's talking about is enough of a turnoff in the early parts of it. But I feel like if you can kind of push through that, or maybe if the anime tries to like handle it slightly better, I don't know. It's enough that it's high profile enough that I expect that I will be watching this. But
I think Logan Grants might be justified, but I think it's a very small part of much,
if you can get past it,
I think it's gonna be fine and a big hit.
So we will see. But I am at least interested in checking it out. Okay. Let's move on to Game Center Shoujo to Ibunka Koryu, or Cultural Exchange with a Game Center Girl.
Hey, remember when I was jerking off City a minute ago for its incredible efficiency and fast-paced gags? This one takes 10 minutes to tell a single joke, and it's not even funny. I can't recommend it.
I will give credit where credit is due in the trailer of this one. We should probably explain the premise real quick. Hold on. There's a guy, and he works at an arcade. He works at an arcade, and a British girl shows up, and she's trying really hard to get this koala from the toy machine, and she sucks, and she's there for hours, and like when he's done with the shift, she's still there. So he goes, and he's the goat, so he gets it for her. And then he, I think he gives it to her as like a Valentine's Day gift because it's Valentine's Day. But in her home country of England, that is considered a declaration of love or something. So she immediately falls head over heels in love with him, and then the premise happens. I will give credit to the Japanese dub for hiring someone that has a pretty good English. It's so funny. She's trying to do a British accent, but it doesn't really sound like one, but it is very clear English. I will give the credit where credit is due.
Well, she's fluent in English.
Yeah, but it's not really a British accent, but it is almost a British accent. And I was like, good job. Good job. You're trying. So that was cool. But then the trailer continued and like 8 other women showed up, and I was like, oh my God, it's a harem. I want to kill myself. So never mind. I'm just completely uninterested in this. The premise was flimsy in the first place, and I was never going to watch this anyway, but the fact that it's also a harem is never in a million years. I don't know if anyone has anything else.
I mean, it is gamer.
No, it's not. It's a fucking crane game arcade. What are you talking about?
Hey, you're saying game arcade people aren't gamers?
Yes. Fucking pick up a controller. Go to
Street
doing
the voice though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's fluent in English.
Yeah.
I am watching this purely for Sayamaki. I think
I want to
Chris
give it an
Reynolds
episode
complaints,
just for Sayamaki.
but
These guys,
I'm a big
these
Sally
guys will
fan.
watch. These
I'm
guys will watch a live stream of a VA shitting into a toilet just because it's the VA that they like. I cannot believe this. Like,
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
Well, I mean,
have some
but Chris,
fucking standards.
Who do you
Hold
think you're
though.
talking to?
Okay, I didn't say that wasn't its own merit, but you know. All right. I'm just saying that like have some fucking standards. Anyway, next
Nah,
up,
she's
I don't know.
in
The art
so
style was
things.
kind of cute. I kind of like the art style.
it's pastel. I'm not saying the art style isn't cute. I just think that it's terrible. Okay, Ginga Tokyo Milky Subway. So, is Tim doing this one? Am I doing this one? Hold on. Yeah, you are. Yeah, go for it.
So this is a like full TV series based off of a like pilot episode they got a few years
It's like
ago.
a 3-minute short, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
I watched it. It wasn't very long. Yeah.
I probably should have watched it. I didn't. It probably wasn't worth it.
It wasn't. It didn't really
premise-
say very much. Yeah.
Yeah, the premise is that this is like a sci-fi thing where two people got arrested or something, and they're like sentenced as the community service to clean a subway train, but then the train takes off, and now they're on like a high-speed spectacle ride thing. But like from the PV that I watched, it like felt more like, I don't know, it felt more laid back and casual. It felt like a radio podcast of them talking.
Yes,
The
that is definitely the vibe I
TV
got
did
too.
not really seem very high impact, so I'm like not sure where this show's gonna go, but like, I don't know, I kind of dig the energy between the two main characters.
I like
so.
the visuals. It's a very it's like CGI ass
It is, I
CGI.
think it is CGI.
No, it is CGI. I'm saying but it is like full C. It's not like even trying to be anime style. It looks more like a Western CGI project. It's or maybe more like To Be Hero X is a better comparison. It's a little bit more of an involved CGI project. And I think the character designs and the art style is cool, and some of the background character designs are cool. I do agree with Tim that it's kind of got that podcasty, almost radio show feel to it to some extent, but I don't know how much that's going to translate into the actual episode. I really don't have a strong read on this one, but it has a unique enough feel that I'm probably going to watch episode 1, but I don't know. This could be very niche, so we'll see.
I think this might be a one-man production kind of thing, because the concept movie there was also a one-man project, and this is also, he's the only one listed
Yeah.
as a staff for this one.
So
I
that's
don't know
kind of
how
cool
long
if you
it's
can
gonna be.
make that work. But yeah, it could be a short or something. I don't know. Hard to tell.
That's kind of hard to do. Like
We don't even have like a studio name, so like who knows, man.
Yeah,
All right.
it was kind of cool. So
It is cool. The next one is a big one. Logan, let's talk about Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu, or The Summer Hikaru Died.
Oh crap! Is this a big one?
Dude,
I'm gonna be
it is a
mean
big
to
one.
it again. I didn't know.
No, it's okay. I don't care. But yes, this is a pretty highly anticipated. It's a pretty popular manga and a pretty highly anticipated anime. I've known about this production for like 2 years, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the premise to this one is that a guy in like a Japanese small town gets replaced by some freaky monster man, and his friend finds out, and then vaguely yandere monster yaoi ensues. And I think that kind of covers it for the premise. I would like to
it's a
describe
horror.
this as
I would say that.
I would like to describe this as a horror manga, but it's never actually scary. Like there's some really keen visual flourishes, but the actual mechanics of the story are consistently boring. Like, ooh, spooky old lady. Ooh, spooky woods. Alexa, play more cicada noises. Ooh. And I don't know, the intrigue isn't very intriguing. I don't actually care why the yandere monster has replaced Hikaru, or if he killed it, or if he didn't kill him. I don't know. Anyway, my official review of this is that this guy should draw something that somebody else writes, but apparently a lot of people feel different.
This is a pretty high score on Mal. Like the manga has a pretty high score on Mal, so clearly people are into it. I will say the trailer was pretty scary. Like I think the trailer did a good job of feeling like it had some like more evocative visual horror. So maybe it's just stuff that you didn't get to in the material yet, at least. But I think this looks like a pretty high budget, compelling horror, and that's not something we always get. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Tim has more.
It's pretty rare that we get a horror, much less like a good horror. And contrary to what Logan says, a lot of people have talking to me about this manga.
Yeah, I have heard this manga is good for the record from other people.
So
Yeah, so
just those two alone is like definitely want to give this a try. And the fact that it's like a kind of BL is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it's cool because this isn't like a very fetishy like BL for BL audiences. This just feels like it's part of the narrative, which is cool. So you don't see that all the time.
Yeah,
I took the wrong time to pick a bathroom break. Jesus
I was gonna say, I think
realized.
this is a show that you would like. I think, by the way.
Yeah, no, I heard a lot about the summer Hikaru disappeared, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Holy shit! This has like some of the most biggest hype behind it.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the higher profile ones this season. So, I'm willing to check it out. I feel like I have to give legitimate horror a college try.
Like I think it's like a must watch for me.
Just because a lot of the, I mean, and obviously we've had a bit of a mixed track record with horror in recent years. Like Mirayuko was a not good adaptation. Still fuming years later, fuming about that. Hey,
Uzumaki.
Tangent, yeah, Uzumaki, obviously. Tangent, real quick. The Mirayuko manga is excellent. The most recent chapters have been so good. Anyway.
Oh, it's been like over a year since I've last read it.
Oh, dude, the most recent arc is very, very tense. But anyway, okay. So all I'm saying is I see the points that Logan's trying to make, but I'm hoping that the adaptation will, which looks to be a pretty high budget Cygames Pictures adaptation that is a Netflix show. So I think that might fix some of those problems if the directing and cinematography can make it a little bit more tense and scary. We will see about the writing, though. TBD. But I'm interested. Okay, moving on to Hotel Inhuman.
Is this one super popular before I take a fat crap on?
No.
No.
Go off.
Okay, good. All right, good. I'm really upset that somebody finally called my I'd watch a whole movie about the John Wick hotel bluff, because this was not very good. For a show about expert assassins, it manages to land exactly 0 shots on my heartstrings. I guess I should explain the premise. Basically, the two main characters are concierges at a hotel, which is a weird running theme this year. I feel like there have been a lot of hotel shows.
This is the
compared
third.
to hotel animes. Yeah. This is the second.
No. Hotel Tasagare and Apocalypse Hotel. This is the third.
Oh. Well, then there's a fourth one coming.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're just swimming in hotel. This is the year of the hotel. But yeah, they're at a hotel for assassins, and it's the John Wick hotel. They help assassins like hide from people and also find other bad guy assassins or whatever. The conversation the concierges have at the beginning is clearly a conversation that they should have had within days of main character guy starting work at that place, and it's just placed like well into his tenure at the hotel for purely expository reasons that just gets on my nerves. The twist at the end makes absolutely no sense. And their plan to trap the bad guys is literally tell the bad guys where we are, and then when they show up, we kill them. Which gives me no real hope for the future of the action scenes. So yeah, I didn't really like any part of this. I think the art was like okay, and that was basically it.
I love silence.
I was eating a cracker. Sorry. I'm muting.
Oh yeah, Paul, you want a cracker?
Fuck you, man. Where's the vibe? I also wrote in my notes, ain't this the John Wick hotel? So I'm glad that was a consistent theme. This is fighting against a lot of other probably better anime that have like the sort of spy or assassin themes. Again, Spy Family season 4 is coming out in a couple of months. And yeah, I think this premise was good enough that it could have been cool if it was executed well, but if it sounds like it sucks, then I probably won't watch it. I didn't think the trailer was spectacular by any means. It was okay.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, for an action show that didn't seem like a pretty like action-y. It was kind of lacking the action for an action show, so I don't really know what the show's going for at this point if there's no action in the John Wick show. What is John Wick without action? Let's be honest, guys.
Yeah, what's John Wick without John Wick?
Yeah.
It would be
left at the hotel, I guess.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thank you. Or
So
maybe it would be 2 or
Oh, shit.
3. That's a bad joke. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're going to spend a very small amount of time on Isekai Moku Shiroku Mingyogura Hametsu no Bunmei de Hajimeru Sekai Seifuku, or Apocalypse Bringer Mingyogura World Conquest Stars with the Civilization of Ruin.
Well, hold on. Where does Seifuku come in? Because Seifuku means sailor uniform.
I
What?
don't think
Wait,
it
no.
does.
no.
All I have is that this was a genuinely embarrassing trailer, and I don't remember enough about the trailer, but I'm pretty sure this is just dog shit isekai. Just pure slop for the piggies. I don't know if we have any other thoughts about this.
Is it
but
Saifuku? Is that sailor uniform?
Okay, I'm moving on.
Next,
Next
That's how you know the show's interesting.
really, really cool. The next one is Jigoku Sensei Nube 2025. Or Hell
Is
to
this a
2025.
Yes, it
This
is.
is another
Yeah,
remake.
2025 because it's this season's other Boomer reboot.
Boomer
I really
reboots
don't.
lately.
I know there's been a ton, and a lot of them aren't very good. For example, I don't really know how much my complete boredom was the fault of just like a really bad old translation versus the bones of the manga, but I really felt like no emotions about anything going on here. The premise is that Nube is a teacher at a school, and he's bad at seances, but he's got like a cool demon arm that lets him like fight monsters when real monsters actually show up. And I think it would be cool to have a cool demon arm because I never made it out of 8th grade either. But like all this guy does with it is claw at something once and it dies. And it's like it was kind of a cool monster design, but not really. And the comedy works like once or twice. Like the gag where so all the main characters are in 5th grade and they look like children, and then they go onto a soccer field with a bunch of 6th graders, and the 6th graders are all like visibly adults. That was pretty funny. And I also thought it was very funny when they all beat the crap out of the main character kid at the end. But it's not like consistently funny enough to be a real selling point. So it doesn't have very good action, doesn't have very funny jokes. There's not really a whole lot going on in it. So I can't recommend it.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this.
Yeah. I wish more Boomer reboots were good.
Yeah, I wish we got more Yaibas.
Yeah.
And I'll be winners.
A lot.
Yeah, for real.
That's not going to be JJK, which.
Okay, next up is Kami Tsubakishi Kinsetsu Chu or Kamitsubaki City Under Protection. Who doing this? Tim, tell us about this mixed media idol witch show.
Yeah. So this one, this is based off of virtual singer group. I don't want to say idol group, virtual singer group that has its pretty decent following in Japan. I don't know if it's reached all the way out in the West yet.
Based on the Mal
maybe
members, I'm
like-
gonna say no.
Maybe one roommate's afraid of them or something. He's the kind of person who might be up in this kind of thing. But yeah, so this is why it's kind of a weird mixed media other thing. And I think maybe it's like a Mecha Cassidy actor thing where maybe their songs has like a story and they made an anime combining all the songs and stories into one thing. But like the premise is like there was a major disaster on the planet, and after that, monsters were born from like people's inner darkness, but these 5 girls/witches with musical voices can fight them, and we're following these girls.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those, but it's based off of an existing music group, so it has a decent following. I know got people who are like really excited for it because of that. But if you're not into them or you don't like the music, then maybe pass. But
I just don't like the visuals. I don't think the CGI is very good. It's kind of bad, actually. And
that's because the girls are kind of CGI already. And that's kind of how the girls are, because I like 3D-ish models for some of them, I think.
this is a pass for me. Cannot convince me to get into a mixed media idol project that I don't care about. So.
I will listen to their music if you got a chance, because some of them are pretty good.
Okay, I'd buy that, but not enough for me to be invested. Okay, next up is Karuhana wa Rintosaku, or the fragrant flower blooms with dignity.
Ooh.
What do you
Ooh,
mean
this
they
looks
put
pretty.
a private? What do you mean they put a private school for girls next to a private school for boys? That defeats the entire purpose of having sex discriminated private schools. They're just going to jump over the walls and have rom-coms with each other. Anyway,
No,
this
they
was
won't because they hate each other. I don't know if you're gonna say that.
I mean they're about to start liking each other because I know they're gonna have a rom-com with each other because this is a damn rom-com. Anyway, this
Romeo
was
and Juliet, bro.
I know it's look whatever. Anyway, this was tremendously boring, but nobody's gonna believe I'm just a cruel, black-hearted delinquent who's always terrifying innocent kissing manga. So I'm gonna let Chris take over for this because I know he's read some of this.
Yeah, I've read like 12 or 13 chapters of this. So because it was so high profile and like so popular. The manga is very popular, and so I like had to check it out. I was curious. I read a bunch of this. So the premise is essentially, like Logan said, there is a sort of crappy rundown boys' school that's a little bit more like for poorer people. And it is sitting right next to a very prestigious preppy girls' school. And the relationship they have is pretty bad. They are obviously not seeing eye to eye. The girls from the school tend to think all of the boys are scum because they're poor and rowdy. And so they don't mix, they don't interact. The main character is a big, tall, kind of scary-looking boy. He's got an earring and spiky hair, so that's how you know he's a delinquent. He works with his mom at a bakery. That his mom runs a bakery. There is this girl that has been coming in a lot because she is a hashtag real eater. She loves eating sweets and especially the stuff from their bakery. And so, but I think that she had been coming in because she likes the son, the main character. And so they end up meeting and hitting it off, and they find out that they are both students at each of the different respective schools. And they have a pretty instantaneous, like, love at first sight type situation thing where they both are very clearly crushing hard on each other as they slowly start to get to know each other better. And I will say, if I had a complaint about this manga, it is incredibly paint by numbers. Like, I do not come into this expecting something that you have not seen before, but I can't really say it's bad. I think it is incredibly well executed for what it is trying to do. It is a pretty well done, compelling romance. I like his friends, his relationship with his friends. I think that there's a lot of interesting like writing and dynamics going into that, even if again it's not very original or fresh, but it's basically like they're boys, they have a trouble opening up with each other, and he has to learn how to sort of tell them about this relationship with this girl, and you know, they'll support him because they're his friends and all that, but he doesn't have to worry about them freaking out because she's a girl from the other school because they like, you know, they're cooler than that. I don't know. I've liked what I've read of this so far. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, pure cinema, like 10 out of 10. Oh my God. I'm not quite getting the full hype of the manga, except for the art. I think the art of the manga is spectacular. This mangaka is a very talented artist. There are some truly gorgeous spreads. And I will say the trailer from Cloverworks looks great, but maybe not to the level of the manga is, but that's just like, you know, hashtag manga fans be suffering forever. Logan, I'm sure, can relate. But yeah, I think that this is going to be very popular because it's a sweet romance and the characters are pretty solid and people like that shit. But again, I would not go into this expecting anything particularly new or interesting. That's my feeling.
Now Logan's can tear it apart now.
He did already. He said it was boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it was.
That's
like-
he says that about all romances.
No, but
this
so
like
he had more to say.
one's
about
boring.
it,
if you only read the first chapter of this, I also would say it was boring. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like it is
one
very
chapter's not
generic.
enough.
It is
Chris
very
said-
generic.
Chris admitted that this was very paint by numbers. Like, I don't know why you think me reading more chapters is gonna be
I don't.
like,
I
"Ooh, this is
said
finally
this-
unlocked
I said
more
this
in
to
one
Logan
chapter.
as I was reading it. I was like, there is no way you would have made it deep enough to like this because it is just like I'm telling you, it's hard to explain unless you watch it. I have a feeling that Tim and Juan are going to like this a lot, and I am excited to check out this adaptation just because I've already read some of it. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's how it is. So I get why people like it to some extent.
I mean,
It's-
this is just like a cute, wholesome romance. Like I'm 100%.
It is.
on
It
this.
is extremely cute and wholesome. The main two characters, the main girl especially, is a cinnamon roll. She's very sweet, and if you just like very cute, very sappy romance, this is right up your alley. You want to cheer for the main characters, despite the hangups and the like societal problems or whatever. Because I hate to go this deep into it, but like she is on a scholarship at this prep school, and there is some concern that if they all find out she's dating this boy from the other school, that the loss of social status will get her kicked out of her school, and then she can't go to this nice prep school even though she's top of her class, has a bright future ahead of her.
Personal worry, or was that like something someone told her?
That is a concern of her best friend that is brought up.
Sure.
And that's kind of an arc that I was reading more recently that's kind of been resolved. So there's nuance there. Like I said, my favorite part about this is his relationship with his friends. I think this does male friendship very well. That's what I liked the most about it. So anyway, I've spieled a lot about this. We can move on if we want. I don't know how y'all are feeling.
Let's go on.
But
this is like 100%.
I'm definitely gonna watch it because I've read like what is at least half of season 1 already. So I mean, I might as well.
12 chapters?
I can't remember how deep I got, but we'll see. I'm probably gonna read more of it. Okay. Next up is Karaoke Eco.
Let's go karaoke.
Let's go karaoke. Every season, there's a comedy that just completely fails to make me laugh. And for real this season, it's Karaoke Ito. There's like some loose drama about the premise here is that like there's a high school kid who's like in the choir, and what's it called? He gets like basically scouted by this Yakuza guy who has to sing good enough at his Yakuza karaoke, or else his boss is going to make him get a really embarrassing tattoo on his butt or something. I don't remember precisely. And there's like some loose drama about the kid's voice dropping, and I mean, I don't know, a high school third year only just now going through puberty feels a little unlikely, but sure, whatever. That doesn't feel like it's going anywhere interesting, especially since in the manga I can't even hear his damn voice. And I would say the main thing that I took away from this is that every character in this looks 20 times uglier than the ugly. Like every single one. It's just nasty all around. I can't recommend this. I didn't find anything of value in it. Apparently some yaoi undertones that I just didn't notice, but like if I didn't notice the yaoi undertones, that probably means they're pretty deep under there. So
I think it's pretty obvious from the poster on the Mal website, but that's
yeah.
okay.
It kind of screams just yeah.
This is clearly just problematic age gap Yakuza yaoi. Like guy grooming younger boy. Yeah, go for it.
But Chris, one of the guys is voiced by Daisuke Ono.
I don't care.
He's got a sexy voice.
I'm sure he does.
Jotaro Kujo.
But yeah, I
Chris
don't.
hasn't seen JoJo.
It's also being animated by Doga Kobo. Holy shit, that's a
Yeah, I thought that
high-
was interesting too. But Tim can explain a little bit more about the weird 2-part thing that's going on with this mangaka because it's bizarre.
It's just kind of. I mean, so this is by the manga. This manga has another work that I'm sure Logan will get to at some point, and they're both getting adaptations this season. So this one's 6 episodes, and then when that ends, the other work is going to air, but the two completely different works, even though they're like very similarly kind of the same undertone kind of vibe thing, but they're completely different stories and things. So yeah. And it's Doga Kobo probably because they got bought out by Karakara, so now they're being forced to do shit like this now.
That is kind of a shame.
All right, next up. All right, the Shy Hero and the Assassin Princess.
All right. So this is why you can't trust premises, because frankly, every member of the hero's party is an assassin out to kill him. Sounds way funnier than it actually turns out to be. For a start, the added wrinkle that the hero is super introverted and can't talk to girls takes away from the comedy rather than enhances it. It's already getting used as early in chapter 1 as an excuse to make him not see stuff that he obviously would have seen, and the assassin girls having to sneak around the hero is the thing that makes the premise funny, so why are you... Anyway. The assassins themselves are not particularly interesting either. The three of them all have like a thing. One of them is untrusting, one of them wants to experience the world, and one of them is horny as hell. And yeah, they're not super compelling gimmicks. And I'm frustrated personally that by the end of chapter 1, they had all already figured out that the other two are assassins, because they didn't know initially. They are sent from different people. And I think that the added wrinkle of them trying to like compete with each other without knowing that they're, against each other would have been pretty funny if they didn't immediately, go out of their way to suck all of the fun out of a joke that kind of writes itself. So yeah, isekai is sometimes a comedy that isn't funny. I can't recommend this. Well, not an isekai. It feels like an isekai.
Do you know if the lolly is an adult or not? I know that's
I don't
weird.
remember.
Okay.
I guess Chris needs permission to goon.
No, I'm just saying that it's immediately disqualifying for me in a lot of ways if the hard ecchi anime has a lolly protagonist, but also that's a mark against it. But also like, why haven't they killed him? I don't get it. Like, they all seem competent enough, and the thing is like, he like faints because he's too anxious or embarrassed or something, because he gets too flustered around women. When he's unconscious, why don't they just cut his fucking head off? I don't get it. I don't understand this premise.
Chris?
No, but it doesn't make any fucking sense.
In the first chapter, they all fight over the right to kill him, and then they get interrupted by a monster or something.
Okay.
Hold on. One of the characters' names is called Gore.
Yeah.
Just straight up Gore.
Anyway, this sounds incredibly boring.
This sounds like
unfunny.
Konosuba, but bad. Now, granted,
I don't think it does at all.
The blonde girl looks hot as fuck with those huge.
The
tits.
Gore?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like a barbarian kind of character, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
I think I agree with Logan that it seems like that could have been a very funny gag, but like I guess.
Agree. I think the premise has potential, but it is being executed about as bad as it could be, is what I'm getting the vibe of. So, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you on that.
Okay. Next up, this is Koju Dinka no Katei Yoshu or Ike Yoshu, or Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. So the premise is essentially that this fucking sorcerer failed an exam, and despite that somehow got hired by one of the most powerful nobles in the kingdom to tutor his daughter, who is a cute anime girl, and he's a cute anime boy, and she sucks at magic, and he has to tutor her. Hijinks ensue. Except that, like, if he's failed school, why is he being hired as a tutor? I don't know. This premise sounds stupid. This is fantasy lit RPG Sekai slop, so who cares? Any other thoughts on this one?
No, we can move on.
Cool.
No,
all right,
we can move on.
Oh, right, no, it's real fucking television
shit.
time.
Real
shit.
Real
right.
shit. Real shit alert.
Back in middle school, young Chris
or
was
elementary school or preschool for the other people watching this show.
back when you, listener, were 5 years old. No, I don't know. I don't know. I was to say I don't know if my younger brother Jed will actually listen to this podcast. Anyway, when I was in middle school, I heard that Scott Westerfield, author of some of my favorite YA dystopia book series, such as Uglies and Midnighters, was coming out with a new book series that was a World War I diesel punk like alt history with full illustrations in it. I was like, damn, that sounds hard as hell. And guess what? It did. It ripped ass. It's one of the coolest YA books I've ever read, and it was an instant favorite. That shit kicked ass. And what does that have to do with anime? Let me tell you what. Studio Orange of Beastars and Land of the Lustrous and Trigun Stampede fame have decided to adapt one of my favorite childhood book series for some fucking reason. I have no. This is one of those. This is maybe the most fever dream adaptation, like even Star Wars Visions. Like, you know, it's Star Wars. It's a big enough franchise that it's unexpected but cool, right? But like, never in a million years. This is like if Animorphs got an anime adaptation. Which, hey, I'm just saying, if any studio wants to get there,
could you imagine?
God, that would go so hard. Anyway, I still am. I'm looking at the poster. I've seen the trailers, and I still cannot believe this is happening and that this is coming out. So one of my favorite anime studios working right now is adapting one of my favorite YA novels, and I'm pumped. I could not imagine. Let me tell you a little bit about the narrative. So this is, like I said, alt World War One. If you're familiar with the outbreak of World War One, Archduke Franz Ferdinand gets assassinated. He and his wife did not actually have any children, but in this universe, they have a son who survives them after the assassination kickstarts the whole war. Except that in this universe, the Allied powers, Britain, France, etc., use genetically modified animals for war and fighting. And the main, like, titular Leviathan is a gigantic, hollowed out whale that is also a airship, basically. So it is a sentient, living, breathing animal that has also been fitted out to have like the ability to pilot it and control it, and has guns mounted on it and everything. So that is the Leviathan, and that is the airship that our other main character is deployed on, whose name is Darren Sharp, who is a girl who disguised herself as a boy to join the war front because she does not, or she was very committed to do so. And then she ends up meeting Alec, who is this prince, the son of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who is kind of associated with the other side. And there's a big macro narrative, and it's been a long time since I read the book, so I don't remember all the specifics. But the Axis powers, or no, Central powers, Axis powers is World War II. The Central powers all use diesel punk mechs to fight instead. So it's just a very cool contrast. It's a sick idea. These are very good books. That's it. I'm very excited for this.
I cannot stress enough how cool both the mechs and especially the like big giant living monster creatures that the Allied powers use are. Like, they blew my mind back when I was in middle school. I thought that was the coolest thing in the entire world. And like Chris, I am still kind of expecting to like boot up episode 1 of this, and then it's just black, like white text on black screen that says, "Why did you really think this was happening? What the hell is wrong with you?" Because why is this happening? This book was like, it came out when we were in middle school and old people now. Like, what happened?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
It's insane. Mm-hmm. It's genuine. No. First of all, no, I think this came out like 2010 or something like that, 2011, somewhere in that range, somewhere like 15. But yeah, it's just a very, I think it holds up. I really need to go and see if I can find a copy of this and read it again, just to remind myself. But like, the coolest part about these books, again, there are, it's not like a picture book or anything, but there are many full page spread illustrations throughout the book, which do a really good job of giving you an idea of what the different genetic creatures and like especially the diesel punk mechs look like. And so I'm assuming that they are going to be drawing on all the art from the books. So the designs look cool. And from the trailer I've seen, you know, it's Orange, and Orange is probably the single most competent CGI action studio that exists. So it's looking pretty ballin'. if it's on the level of Trigun Stampede, I'll be nutting personally.
I
So.
really, I want to like have like a camera reaction of Chris and Logan watching the show, and they just turn into like, something Gusteau from Ratatouille, like tasting
doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like going back to the middle school.
Yeah. The
like,
flashback.
It's just like how I imagined in my head.
I know Juan said that the other shonen one was one of his most anticipated. This is probably this is probably my most anticipated anime of this year.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Atelier?
I'm still I still don't believe that Witch Hat's coming out this year. I think it's going to get delayed till next year.
I think so too.
If Witch Hat does come out this year, then it's still that, because that's my goat. But yeah, we'll see.
That's crazy.
Yo, hit me up when the Unwind anime shows up.
That would also be cool.
I was like, they're kind of opening the floodgates if they're gonna start making like us core middle school books.
I mean, like you think when they made the Magic
Unwind
School
is
Bus anime,
Unwind is Neil Shusterman, it's the same author, but yeah.
I know, but like still, like
Wait,
they're drawing.
No, it's Neil Shusterman, different author.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm just
also
saying,
great.
Heir Apparent is already like 75% of an isekai anyway, and that was great.
That's. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's too niche, my friend. I'm still waiting.
I would have said Leviathan was too niche.
Yeah, me too. Honestly.
Yo, hit me up when the Animorphs anime happens.
I already made that joke. I'm telling, but honestly, I am. We're on such a tangent. I am waiting for the modern era of Animorphs like TV show reboot. I think it'll be more likely to be like a Netflix show or something, but I think there is a chance that it could happen because it was so big for so long. But yeah,
as much as Chris and Logan are like cooming over here about how hype this is, like the reality of this is that this is a very niche adaptation that not many people are gonna know about, being released in a batch format, probably on Netflix. So it's probably gonna be something people are not gonna.
Oh yeah, I expect zero people to watch it, but I don't give a shit. It's for me. They made this for me specifically.
Yeah,
and Logan.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to forget about this show in like 3 days.
3 people.
Look, it'll be out,
and
we'll watch it, and then they'll forget about it right afterwards.
You're right. Do people that aren't familiar with the source material care? Probably not. Maybe some people will check it out because it's a cool, unique premise. I hope they do. And if you're listening to this podcast and we have any sway, please watch this. But at the same time, like, every single person on Reddit I saw and on Twitter that I saw when this got announced that like had read the books, like the few other people that were us, basically, they were losing their goddamn minds too. So it's going to make a couple of people very excited. And also it might be bringing in some people like that don't watch anime traditionally that are just fans of the book series. And that's cool too, because then they can be like, oh man, this studio did a great job with it. And then they go watch Beastars and they're like, wow, that was weird and horny. Why am I a furry now? The pipeline is completed. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pumped. I'm
very curious to see the numbers for this.
I will say, and I hate having to admit this, I am a little tiny bit skeptical that this is not going to be quite on the level of Beastars and Trigun Stampede, just because the trailer doesn't look quite as stylish as some of the other Orange shows, but I still trust Orange enough that I think this is going to be good. So, and again, the source material is great. All right, we took way too long on this. Let's move on. Next up is Mataku Saikin no Tante to Kitara, or detectives these days are crazy.
That's crazy. So I wanted on record that I read this. I wrote this after reading the first chapter. I later watched the trailer for what felt like a completely different anime from the chapter that I watched. So look, it's not my fault if they occasionally just randomly change every single thing about the show from chapter 1 to chapter 2. 'Cause chapter 1 was pretty long, and I was pretty sick of it by the end. So I thought I had it kind of figured out. Anyway, what I read anyway, the premise is that there's this like kind of middle-aged detective, and then there's this, and he's like he was like famous when he was younger, but he's kind of burned out, and now he's just doing like, is this woman cheating on her husband style work. And then this girl shows up and asks to be his assistant. See, because every time I keep trying to describe the first chapter of this manga, that entire trailer plays in my head, and it's like, that's not what you watched at all. That's not what you watched at all. But anyway, what it seemed like was that the main cell was the dynamic between the mains, and there was no really good dynamic between the mains. Like, he was just impossibly out of touch for like a 30-year-old, and she didn't really have a whole lot of personality beyond just being kind of energetic. And I was really frustrated because they start trying to sell you on like, oh, she was connected to his big case all those years ago as like a mystery that we're going to have to like wait to learn more about. Because it's really obvious that that's why she's hanging around him and trying to be his assistant or whatever. And it makes her feel completely formless as a character to not know the specifics of why that is. And it's allegedly a comedy, at least the chapter I read, but the jokes didn't land even when they weren't kind of tastelessly etchy. But again, this was not the trailer was a completely different manga. I don't know what to tell you.
I will side with Logan here that like this looks kind of like generic as fuck, especially with just like the key art and the synopsis. But with what Chris is telling us with the trailer, that this looks kind of fire.
I am
How does
just
that key art look
saying,
generic to you?
I am just
Look at
saying
that.
that the trailer was snappy and well edited, and they put lots of work
Yes.
into the trailer. And not a lot of PVs do that. Like, lots of PVs are very lazy. They're just like key title card, like music, OP snippet, text, or like visuals of the anime. This is like actually edited intentionally to be funny. And all I'm saying is that it did a better job of selling the premise of this than what Logan said in the pre-read. I am not necessarily saying it's going to be good or funny, but it made me want to at least watch episode 1. So that's
I
a
will
good
say
trailer.
that we did get tricked by the deer show.
Yeah. And
That was
I-
the other
Noko-
thing that popped into my head
Yeah,
when I was watching
Nokotan-
that trailer. I
Nokotan
was like,
definitely
Nokotan will
tricked
not
us.
do this to me again.
Just because there are funny visual gags in a trailer does not mean that they are actually funny in context in the show. Like, absolutely.
Also true.
So,
I can
but
tell you that at least one
hedge
of
your
those
bets.
visual gags in the trailer was the one almost funny joke in the first chapter of the manga. So
I
we'll
will-
see.
I will give it episode 1. Like I didn't have any interest before, but now with the trailer, I'll give it episode 1.
I think it's got enough going on that it's worth checking out, is where I'm at right now. But we will see. Your mileage may vary. Another Leiden Films, by the way.
Yeah, Leiden Films, which they're going up in ranking right now in terms of
All right.
like video quality.
Next
Are
up
they?
is
I'd say
Mika. Are they doing Call of the Night season 2?
Yeah,
They
Okay.
are.
That's probably where all their efforts going.
yeah.
Okay, Mika. That means they're doing at least 3 or 4 shows this season, which is crazy. Oh, this is PA Works.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I was gonna completely dismiss this show, and I'm probably still not gonna watch it. But I didn't realize that PA Works was doing it. That seems like a waste of their talents. Anyway, Mikadono Sanshimai wa Angai Choroi, or Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters, is a breeze.
Oh crap! I read this.
Yeah,
sorry, I
sorry.
forgot. So
I was waiting for you.
the characters in this manga are very androgynous. I say that not as a compliment or an insult, just kind of an acknowledgement that it's the only real point of distinction between this and any other boy now has to live with 3 sexy ladies he has a semi-contentious relationship with comedy of this generation. I don't really even have to tell you the premise. He goes to live with them for reasons that I don't.
It's one of
remember.
these. I don't know how else to describe it.
I will say this one gets to go pretty down deep into anime hell for me because it presented me with a manga that I would rather read, where main character guy like fails to live up to his famous mother, but learns to be content with the little things in life. But then they just shove all of that whole arc into like 3 pages worth of flashbacks so we can fast forward to the walk in on a girl coming out of the shower scene that they always put in these. So I'm not recommending this. This
Credit
really generic.
Credit where credit is due. Like Logan said, I think the designs on the sisters are fairly unique for modern anime sensibilities. The purple-haired one has a very like prince girl, like androgynous kind of vibe, and the green one just looks like a boy. So like they're trying. If you want something a little gender bendy, I can see that being a draw for certain people. I'm not going to say that this is doing anything interesting with gender. In fact, I would bet money that it's not, but like maybe that's a draw for you. The art is pretty solid, but God, this premise is a stinker, and I just cannot imagine it's going to be good or entertaining. I don't know. Maybe the Ecchi Bros will come back and be like, "Oh yeah, trust." But
No, Ecchi's supposed to got another show on our list.
I don't even think this is really horny. But again, I just can't believe PA Works is doing this. This is the only show I've seen from them this season. But
Yeah,
I don't know. This manga cover is pretty ecchi forward. Got a 777.
I don't think it's enough for me to want to check this out. But I don't know. Maybe it's that heat. Who knows? Fucking PA Works is gonna etchy it out.
You guys should watch the PA Works on this season.
I'm gonna watch it, Tim. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I promise. I'm gonna watch it.
I don't know what the other PA Works.
It's the cooking show from this season. It's apparently really good. I'm gonna watch it. I will. I promise.
I make no promises, Tim.
Okay, next up.
I don't raise your expectations.
Is Mizu Zokusei no Mahotsukai, or the Water Magician. This isn't a pre-read.
It's a Chris Slop.
Oh, cool.
It's
all right.
exactly
This shit. All right. I'm going to be mean. This shit wants to be free run so fucking bad, and it's not. It's not even in the same galaxy. So this guy's like a water mage. He is like stuck in the wilderness, and he's an optimist, and it's okay. He has the eternal youth trait. So he, much like Freerin, has a very long life, and 20 years pass very quickly as he's training with his little water magic, and then the narrative begins. And I think it's trying to go for sort of the same, like, comfy travel vibes that Freerin is going for, except that he looks like every single isekai main character, straight down to the spike, like, kind of spiky black hair and the cowlick. And there is just nothing original about this, and I would rather eat rocks. So, and we're not even at the rock anime yet, so yeah. Pass, unless anyone else has anything to say about this.
No. It looks like generic
Okay,
isekai to me.
Next up is the other Dogakoba one that's related to the karaoke one by the same author, I think, which is Muchu Sa Kimi ni.
Same author.
Which is Captivated by You.
I would have thought you have caught on that, Logan, because it's like the exact same art style.
Well, he didn't find this manga.
This one I did find. This was another one that was like an overtime manga, so I was just kind of mad at it for existing. But I didn't like this either. It is allegedly award. It's a series of vignettes. I read the first one. It was a whole vignette with no payoff, and in my mind, the whole point of the vignette format is that you get the payoff every time because it's a short story. Yeah, no, I didn't find anything interesting about this one, although I will say it was a lot more obviously yaoi than the Karaoke Ito one.
Yeah, this doesn't have a trailer, or well, the trailer is just manga panels that are slightly animated, so there's no actual visuals on the anime, and I have no idea what it looks like, and the mal description is kind of completely incomprehensible, so I don't really know what it's about at all. And I have no good read.
School hijinks, right? It was some school hijinks.
Yeah, this one comes in August. That's why. They probably haven't like worked on it at all.
They better hurry up. It's only a month and a half.
Well, they gotta finish the other one first.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we have very much to say about this one. I think it's interesting that they're splitting these two manga into two halves of the season, but not interesting enough for me to watch it. Okay, someone who is doing. Tim, tell us about Cosmic Horror Show.
Yes, let me pull it up. This one seems like another like YouTuber kind of anime about this YouTuber anime girl who's trying to become like, make it big on YouTube after finishing middle school. It gives me like a lot of My Neck a Punch vibe, but instead of like vampires, the cool gag is that her streaming is to go into this VR game where they do wacky game things. It was a little bit hard to follow what was exactly going on, but that's kind of the vibe I got from it. I don't think it'll be nearly as funny or entertaining as My Neck a Punch was, but we'll see. The monsters look kind of weird too. There's a lot of weird things in the show, and I don't know if it is going to be funny or if it's just going to stay weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like a fan of like the art style or the character design. Like, I mean, like I've been saying it a lot this podcast. Like, it looks kind of generic.
I don't think I would call the thing generic. There's a lot of weird.
I mean, there's some weird
things
designs
about
here.
I agree with Tim. I think it's got an interesting visual idea going on for it, and it hasn't like it's doing something unique to some extent, but at the same time, I don't know. It feels a little juvenile to me. I don't know if it's quite like a kids show vibe, but it feels like something targeted at a slightly younger audience, maybe people that are like into this kind of VR like game streamer type thing. Um, I'm not really interested in this at all. I'm gonna be completely honest. Kind of whatever.
Not
to
watching
me.
shows about YouTubers. Sorry, brother, nothing on me. It ain't happening.
Until they make the Northern Lion anime, I'm not watching. No, that's what that. But they are. It's the food court one.
For some reason, it is tagged as me because it is an Ecchi Bros show apparently, and I do not remember a single thing about it. Yeah,
it's an
maybe that's why.
erotica. Is this just porn?
Apparently, it's just porn.
Damn,
Why are we
they're just putting
covering
porn on
it?
TV these days.
Because
It's
Tim wants to.
porn.
I do not
the
remember
PV
you talking about the
didn't-
show whatsoever.
This PV didn't give me porn, right? This PV gave me like Shumatsu no Harem vibe, which I think we covered. So
Which one? Oh, Shimatsu no Harem. Okay, I forgot about that show. Does season 2 ever confirm for that?
no,
Great,
I don't think it ever will.
great. That show was also kind of like I don't even remember why I kept watching it. Anyway, it's ecchi and it's a visual novel and it's being animated by Studio Passion, who is actually a pretty good studio, but they're good at doing ecchi. So yeah, I'm sure if you're like into ecchi, this would be great. I do not remember this whatsoever, and from the synopsis here, it just looks like boy surrounded by women, and therefore they must fuck.
I don't know what you want from me on this one, but
Yeah.
happy for y'all if y'all Edgy Bros it up. Yeah,
Maybe,
I
I
didn't
don't-
see it
I
on the
don't
main
know.
chart. I don't know why it's not on.
It's not on the
because
main chart at all.
Because it's like us, you have to unhide the.
Oh, it's
18
it's
plus.
literally considered. That's weird because it's not. I don't think it's explicitly hentai, which is weird.
Well, erotica and hentai are considered 18
Same.
plus.
All right,
So you got
now Logan,
know.
would you like to tell us
All
about
right.
this one?
Yeah, I'd love to tell you guys a lot about Night of the Living Cat. So in a world where a virus, firstly, it's explicitly a world where like 90% of people were cat owners, which is sick. That sounds like
Hilarious,
paradise. But yeah, in a world where a virus that is spread by cats turns you into cats, it's a zombie movie, but it's
About cats.
that's the thing that it is. And I do have to call these things down the line. Some of the jokes in here are a little rad. If somebody yells like, "Oh no, it's a hacking
chonker."
episode 3, then you can blame me for recommending this anyway, because I think the genre parody humor actually does hit. Like the survivors treating normal cat behavior as a harbinger of their impending doom is a pretty good bit. It's never like funny and unserious. There's no one who's like, "Oh, it's so crazy that we're all so freaked out about these cats," or whatever. It's funny because it is serious, which is, I think, the right road to take for these kinds of like parody comedies. I love that main character guy is torn between his desire to not catch this virus and his genuine love of cats. Because it gives him kind of an additional goal on top of the normal survivor goal, because he doesn't want to make cats hate him. Like he has to spray some with water in the first chapter and it just eats him up at the end of it. I thought that was a pretty good bit. I think the apocalyptic environmental design is also pretty great, but look, enough about the jokes and the sets and the humies. Let's talk about the cats. They're all beautiful. My personal favorite one is the one that like snakes its way into the building that they're hiding in through a like tiny hole in the wall. it gets a full page to just kind of extrude out of this little hole, and it's extremely cute just watching it kind of like slide out of there. I love that the cats at all points in the entire manga feel totally guileless about their role in all of this destruction. Like they just move and act like needy cats, and the manga is so much funnier for it that they don't like act like zombies or anything. I'm looking forward to more of this personally, and I'm going to be watching it.
I am not trying to burst your bubble because I think that this is probably going
Oh,
to still
no.
be hold on to be a lot of fun. But the only complaint I have about this trailer is that a lot of the cats in the crowd shots are CGI, and it's not very good. It's very badly blended and doesn't match the background.
Oh, no, come on,
if
man.
you can get over that, I don't like. Not all of the cats are CGI. Like the close-ups are 2D, I think. So it's not everything.
Mhm.
So
they
that's
at least look kind of nice.
yeah, I think they were fine.
The 2D cats.
Yeah, it's OLM. I mean, like I have some standards. Like I hope that they
Mhm.
anyway. But yes, this is a very fun premise, and it seems to be like very played straight to some extent too, which I think is nice. And so I was obviously gonna watch this no matter what. Like I said, I hope the CGI cats don't put us off too much. But aside from that, yeah, this seems like a slam dunk.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna give this a courtesy episode 1, but like I do not have high hopes for this because I don't know. I'm just not vibing with it. Like the art style, the character design.
I don't think the poster does a very good job of showcasing what it looks like for the
Yeah, but like, I
writer.
also see like the characters, and I'm like, oh, not a fan of the art style personally.
Oh yeah. Also, Takashi Miike is directing this famous horror like slasher Japanese director who did Battle Royale and also the Ace Attorney movie. Who is
that's
typically
crazy.
a live action director and has not done very many anime projects is doing this. So I think the fact that they got a very famous horror director to do this silly cat zombie show is really funny. So
That's interesting.
okay. Anything else, Tim? Or are we good to move on?
They dropped the first couple minutes of this episode already, and I checked it out out of curiosity, and it's a little rough. I don't know how I feel about it. I wasn't really feeling the emo or the horror, and the cast being CGI, obviously. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's actually supposed to be scary. I think it's a comedy.
No,
Well,
it's
it wasn't. I didn't get any comedy or horror out of it, so it was just
Okay.
like.
Well, TBD on that one, but at least the manga was good, right? You can always just
I
go
like
read that.
at least. I could always just go read that. I could just go look at more drawings of cats. I could go pet my cat.
Do you have so many options available to you?
I have so
Okay.
many.
All right, sell me on this and promise and tell me it's not slop. This is Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth or Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Verse. I don't know what the difference is.
Am I doing this?
I think so. I mean, I can if we want.
I can.
No, it was me. It's me. I'll take
Oh.
my assignment. Okay, so David Productions, the studio behind Fire Force and JoJo's and Undead Unluck, are presenting a new original. What is the subject material that they chose to do? I have great news for you. This guy's a delinquent. And he's always been dreaming of a mysterious girl, but he's only ever seen her in his dreams. But then he falls off a cliff and dies, and then wakes up in the futuristic version of the ancient capital where advanced technology and mysticism coexist. That's right. David Productions is using their time to make an original isekai. The last time I got tricked into watching an original isekai, it was Zenshu, and I regret that. So here we are. I would have to, and Zenshu I also didn't hate, for the record. Like Zenshu had merit to some extent, but like, why should I watch this? I don't know. The visuals are fine. Am I convinced that this narrative is anything? No, not really. I don't know. I get that this is probably a little bit higher budget and higher production than your typical isekai slot fare, but man, this is gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting to convince me to watch it.
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, just the concept of David Productions' original anime. I'm like, ooh, maybe, but like, I don't have a lot of confidence in this.
I don't know. When you say isekai, usually it's an excuse to throw people in fantasy world with OP powers, and this show doesn't have any of that.
I'm
So
not
I
saying
think
it's a
they're
power
using-
fantasy. It's a pretty traditional isekai, but it's still an
I
oversaturated
don't
genre.
think he's overpowered in this one. This
That's what I'm
feels more
saying.
like
I'm saying it's not a
raised-
power fantasy.
Yeah. So it feels more like I don't know why they decided to put him in another word, but it's whatever. But like this, the premise seems more like a Ray Zero time loop where he has to like somehow save the girl that he really likes because she keeps dying from this hidden enemy spirit thing, which I don't know. Could be interesting, but I wouldn't necessarily call it like, Isekai Slap or throw it in the same category as those kind of shows. But it's I don't know, it's weird, but maybe it's gonna have some potential.
Original isekai? I don't think so.
All right. Waldorf,
You know what? At least Zenshu was,
Logan.
for its faults, Zenshu was pretty original. I'll give it that.
No,
I mean, at least Zenshu actually followed the Isekai thing where they teleported to a pretty generic world and made the.
I don't know what you're
characters more
talking about.
overpowered.
Like, I'm not saying it was good or well executed, but the
Yeah, but
premise of
I'm-
Zenshu is pretty original.
Yeah, but
Like,
at least I don't know about that.
the concept was original. The
The
execution was very
power
generic.
was original. The premise was not that original.
getting sucked into an anime, I guess not. Yeah, but it was
power of, like,
the anime
summoning
itself
good
that she got
drawings.
sucked into was a little bit more original. Anyway, tune into our review episode if you want to hear us talk about Zenshu, which we're already doing too much. Let's move on.
This one
Don't we already do
is original on our cost, so I'll
Right.
give it that merit.
We already
That is out.
reviewed Zenshu.
Yeah,
That-
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
it
I'm
should be
saying
out.
I'm telling them to watch the video that's on our channel.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Ruri no Hoseki or
shit.
Ruri or Hoseki or Ruri Rocks.
Yeah.
She rocks.
Yeah, this is the last of the overtime manga. And my only notes here are nice art, comma, really boring.
I hate you.
I remember this being like very club show.txt. Like it's just kind of, and then she discovers a new hobby that she likes, and there's a girl who's been working at the hobby for a longer time, and now they're both doing the hobby together, and I bet there's probably 3 more characters that are going to get introduced in the next chapter, and they're going to fill out kind of the main cast, and there's going to be like some very gentle interpersonal drama. I'm just writing fan fiction at this point, but like I don't know, it just didn't do anything.
You're right, but
It just didn't do anything to break out of the club show mold, and I don't really like the club show mold, and the
Hey, you
rocks
should
are
watch
not
Mono.
enough for me.
Mono
No,
is so good.
I read Mongo. I didn't like it.
Mongo.
Mono is one of the best shows this season. We're not getting into this. Okay. I don't think that Studio Bind is going to be beating the Gunnar allegations anytime soon when I watch this trailer, because man, the main characters, and maybe this is the manga, so I can't blame them, but like the main character has huge tits and they do bounce around when she's getting in the river and looking for rocks. But aside from that, it's cool to see them pick up a fairly low-key, like slice of life kind of club show or special interest show, because I can't tell what age bracket these people are necessarily. But yeah,
I don't remember.
this looks like a very high production value show about mineralogy and looking for rocks, and we have a friend that does this as a job, sort of, so, or at least has a college degree in it, so I am very interested to watch it with him specifically and see what he has to say about it.
I wanted to be like, I wanted to fact check every single moment.
I'm sure he'll be into it. This seems like one of those that it's going to do its research well. So, but I unlike Logan, I tend to like these types of club shows. So I think the idea of a well-made, high production one, much like Mono, seems interesting to me. And maybe I'll learn a thing or two about rock.
I like learning about rock. It's fun.
Yeah.
Rock is pretty.
I like walking around with Ethan and learning about rock in real life.
Ethan's
but-
not a kawaii anime girl.
You guys haven't
You
seen
can
it.
make it one.
But I, like how I have.
Okay.
Have you guys ever gone to the museum like when he's working there? It's actually
Yes,
pretty
I
cool.
have actually.
I have you when he's working.
Well, not when he's doing the rock stuff. I went when he was like selling tickets, because he got
No, but like, if you can like get him like when he's like working the rock section, like it's really cool because like he knows like everything, and it's cool to see him go off about rocks. It's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, this was like a really fun anime to have Ethan Witch and give commentary on.
Yeah.
But for the people who
Oh.
don't know our specific trend, if you're just interested in mineralogy, and also this looks like a very high production value, because it's studio bind and they
Yeah.
haven't done very much, but every single show they've done has been very pretty. So
Even if
Yeah.
you don't have your own Ethan, it looks cute and looks like a good time. So
yeah,
Everyone should have their own Ethan.
I agree. Okay.
Just like a little pocket Ethan.
All right. Next up is oh, did I put this out of order? Oh, I just didn't pull it up. Shit.
Shinsei Galverse.
Give me a second. This is an original written by a newer director. I think that this was a music. I think she's a music video.
Was a music video.
Okay, it was a music
Turned
video, and
into
it's getting adapted into a full show.
Yeah.
This is very clearly trying to evoke a specific art style and vibe from mid 90s anime, kind of Sailor Moon-esque is what I would describe it as, but maybe a little bit more sci-fi, obviously. And I'll just be honest, I don't like this art style. I wish I did, but I think it's kind of ugly, unfortunately. And even more unfortunately, the production's a little rough around the edges too, and so it ends up looking a little janky, even though I think it's cool that they're trying to do this sort of retro style thing. And I think that the plot seems a little generic too, and it hasn't really hooked me in a specific way. It's essentially that was this original star called the Mother Planet that was a big space woman, and it blew up, and then war broke out across the galaxy, but each of the small fragments turned into a space magical girl, and those are the Galverse girls or whatever, and they have gal spirit. I don't know. It's probably going to be campy and fun, and maybe it'll look a little bit better in action, but I wasn't thrilled by the PV. Is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, this looks like kind of I don't know, like a YouTube parody of like 90s anime. At least like
yeah,
what the,
I
like,
think
art
that's what
style
it
kinda
feels
gives
like
me.
for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the production is just not there.
Mhm.
Which is
I
a
kind of
shame.
wish they had a little bit more sauce. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I will say out loud the Logan that the joke that Logan typed out. Gyaru Spider-Man into the Galverse.
That's pretty funny.
Jesus.
Okay, I don't know if Tim has any more on this.
A lot of like this is definitely instilling a lot of the older anime art style nostalgia, and a lot of people were into that thing. There is some Web3 involvement in this project. As far as I can tell, it's not like super scummy or anything, but like that I think this started off as a Web3 thing and kind of branched off to its own anime. But
Yuck.
it seems fine.
I don't know how that
mean-
means the AI was involved at all, but I don't know.
They're not this. They don't go synonymous with each other.
Sure.
But you know, I don't think that necessarily detracts anything from the value of it.
I think
and
it's cool that
this is a cool attempt to bring
Yeah.
back this art style.
I am down for a sort of indie project like this getting made, but yeah, we'll see. Moving on. Silent Witch, Chinmoku no Maho no Kakushikoto, or Secrets of the Silent Witch.
Where does Kakushigoto come into play there?
I think that like silent, probably.
No, Kakushigoto means like
No.
liar.
I don't
Maybe
know.
like
I don't speak
Kakushi.
Japanese. Anyway, the premise of this, or am I doing this? I don't know. Tim is doing this. Go for it.
Silent Witch is about this witch who's super famous because she can use enchanted magecraft, which means she doesn't have to speak chants to use her magic, and she's super powerful, and she defeated the legendary dragon, and you know she's super cool and a genius, but her only downside is that she's super shy, which is why she learned, and like the only reason why she even learned like enchanted magecraft was because she didn't want to speak in public. So despite her being super powerful, she's actually like super shy with no confidence, and now she has been assigned to guard the prince, and you know I don't how you know with her being super shy, that's going to obviously have problems. So, you know, can she keep it together and keep the prince alive and overcome social anxiety? Who knows? I don't want to say it's like fantasy poetry, but like I don't know. I know this was gotten like a decent kind of build up from Kataka when they announced this at their big event with Aniplex thing, but
This has the trappings of a reverse harem, and I don't care. I just cannot. I kind of hate this premise. Actually, I think it's stupid, and I don't really care about your cute girl vehicle show where she's like too shy. But she's too shy, and that's why she didn't talk. I don't care. I'm sorry.
I do kind of hate the I was disinterested until Tim described it as like magic Bocchi the Rock, and I'm like, hold on.
It's not that at all. I don't think it's that. I don't think just because you have a shy character, it means it's Boji. Like, let's relax here. There's plenty of shows like that.
there's a couple of cool shots in the PV. If you don't count the like weird CG monsters at times, they look like it had some potential going on with it. I know that they were trying to hype this up over in Japan, so
There is a character named Lewis Miller,
Good for him.
voiced by Sukuna.
I am a hater. Clock me in
it's
as a
a
hater.
cat for Logan.
Yeah,
I kind of want to give this an episode. Not gonna lie.
that's crazy. This looks like fantasy slop, and
It is a light
literally-
novel, so I don't have a lot
I just think it's insane for you to poo-poo Clevitas, which I think has way more intrigue going on, and then literally like, oh, another fantasy slop show. Sign me up. It doesn't make any sense.
But
You
it's
have no
pretty.
consistency.
This one's pretty.
I think Clevitas is prettier, but whatever.
I
Okay.
think you're prettier.
Thanks. Anyway, Takopi no Genzai, or Takopi's Original Sin.
All right. So I'm going to start this off with a little bit of behind the scenes action. So usually for the pre-read, I read chapter 1, and if I love it or I hate it, I stop. If I haven't properly settled my feelings on it, I just kind of keep reading until I come to a conclusion. I read all of Takopi no Genzai, which admittedly is only 16 chapters, but still, I never really felt like I had a grip on my own perspective for this things. Like, this manga by itself delayed the full pre-read by a day. So I'll say up front, this is kind of an edgy Doraemon riff. What's it called? An alien shows up to Earth to make this girl happy. She is not living a very good life. It goes to some very dark places, and it is kind of exploitative. But it never really felt like it fell like all the way down to super edgy tripe. The characters are very well defined. I think that helps. Especially, I do like the completely guileless Doraemon character whose name is Takopi, whose unflagging optimism adds a bit of levity in addition to some tragedy, which it also adds to the situation. And since, for once, I actually get to talk about an ending instead of just a beginning, I'm going to say that it feels a bit cheap in terms of the broader plot, but in terms of resolving the characters' arcs themselves, I kind of liked it. So, I don't know. Make your own decisions. Don't rely on me for everything. I don't know how I feel about this.
That's what they come here for. What do you mean?
To be fair,
look, I get one
show.
punt in like 4 years. All right.
It's a 6-episode show, so I mean, you just say it was 16 chapters, so it makes sense that it's like that short.
Yeah.
Yes. If it was like full length episodes, it would have started to drag. So I'm glad that they're keeping it short.
Oh, I feel like
is
this
there
is like
anything in the
like,
trailer about these?
Yeah, I feel like this is like a show that we should watch like when it's all done, and then like if we hear it's heat, we should check it out.
I think you should watch it regardless.
Yeah,
I think
this
from
is
the same author as what's its face? That other famous one.
Poon Poon.
No,
No, not Poon Poon.
Sorry.
This one's a pretty famous.
Although it
work.
did remind me of Poon Poon in a little, like a couple of different kind of small ways. It felt like kind of like a little bit of an Asano ripoff.
Any of the other manga on
yeah, neither do
here.
I. Well, I mean, those are all one shots.
So, anyway,
I've heard a lot of things about this one. I think regardless of how it turns out.
Yeah, I am
Um,
interested. This is an original concept, and it seems to be getting a pretty high budget production. The trailer looked good. That's usually enough for me to get it to get me to check it out. So I'm gonna probably check this one out. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Okay.
Is Juan gonna sit out on this?
Am I?
No.
You said you weren't that interested,
Tim's
and
asking.
you want to wait till the
Oh,
end.
oh, the show. I thought you meant like talking about the rest of the podcast. No. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until like it's done, and we're like, let me know if I should watch this.
All right, guess that's Chris Logan show.
We'll see. All right. Next up is
Look like-
Togen Anki.
I take back everything I said about slow paced first chapters. This is too fast. This is too fast. So the premise here is, you know, the story of the Oni and the, completely blanking on what the other one
They call
is, and
them
it ruins the joke.
Momotaros.
Momotaro, yes. The very famous Pokemon DLC that I think was actually originally a Japanese folktale that maybe Japanese people know about. To me, it was all complete
Peach
nonsense,
thing.
but whatever. There's the Peach thing. I thought that I'm confused. They're acting like it's like a big almost subversion of the story for the Oni to be the bad guy, but as someone who again only knows about this because of Pokemon DLC, I thought that it was supposed to be that the Oni was the good guy, so whatever. Anyway, this is it doesn't matter. There's two groups of people. One of them is tasked with exterminating the other because they're dangerous, and then like a guy sees, like a Momotaro guy sees like a child Oni or something, and he's like, I can't do this, I'm gonna raise this guy instead, and he quits. And then he gets, like, after like 10 years or something, when the kid is appropriately anime character age, he gets geeked, and the main character guy, I don't know, learns that he's an Oni and he's got some like crazy powers, and then there's probably going to be a big action show. I was not inclined to keep going with this because they were fast forwarding through all of that kind of like character stuff, whatever, to get to some really ugly looking action scenes. It uses action lines a lot, but they don't actually direct the action. And literally everyone's power is just like weird looking black blobs that sometimes are shaped like maybe swords or guns or just kind of blobs. The main character guy's Oni form especially has way too much visual clutter to make any sense. So he just kind of looks like a pile of vague gun parts and not like a bunch of guns held together by a blob, which I think is supposed to be. Anyway, I guess I can't really blame them for fast forwarding through that emotional setup because it's not like it's particularly unique either, but you know, we got an action show with bad looking action. Maybe the trailer looks better, but from the manga, I can't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't care about this at all. I think that it looks like a middling budget battle shonen that I don't think has any real merit or is going to be breaking out in any significant way. So that's a skip for me.
Fellas, this is like a very chuny type of show. And god damn it, I still got that chuny in me sometimes. I want to check this out. I want to get
yet again, another show. Again, I don't have very much stake in Clevitas, but just another show that looks so much worse than Clevitas, and that you're like, oh, I want to check this out.
I want to go an episode.
You gotta drop Clevitas, Chris.
I just think that Juan's standards make no sense. That's it.
I don't know. My standards make sense to me.
I heard some good things about this manga. There was some hype for this one. I'm kind of interested in giving this one.
You have to have a pretty high bar to get me to watch something like this. I'm gonna be real. Like, you have to really prove that you're breaking out and doing something interesting, and I didn't get that from the trailer. So, all right. Next up,
looks edgy.
It does look edgy. Next up, we have a slop corner. The next couple are slop. This one is basically restaurant isekai, except it has like 10 isekai slop red flags in the first few sentences, including exiled from one of the strongest guilds and level 99 cooking skill and saves an exiled slave girl. So I don't care. If you like the idea of the show, go watch Isekai Shokudo and don't watch this. Next up is Tsuyokute New Saga. I don't know. You can just look at the poster and it's exactly what it looks like. Oh, hold on. Sorry, this is the one with Kyle. This is Magic Swordsman Kyle.
You gotta do the voice, Chris.
Sorry, that's right. I forgot that I had to. Okay, I promised before Juan got into the call I was going to do a voice to read the mal synopsis for this show. So let me see if I can channel it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. After a fierce battle, Magic Swordsman Kyle finally killed the Demon Lord after being seriously injured in the battle. Kyle, on the verge of death, approaches a relic which is in possession of the Demon Lord, and it sends him to the past. After recovering from the initial shock, he decides to use this opportunity to avoid making the same mistakes of the past and become stronger.
Oh.
That's my YouTube voice.
Oh,
or my YouTube short voice.
Sounds like your Pokemon abridged voice.
Oh no.
I just love Magic Swordsman Kyle. His name is Kyle Leonard. Bro is just a guy that could have been in our high school class. Oh man. Anyway, this is nothing, obviously, but Kyle is funny. So does anyone want to be Magic Swordsman Kyle in Discord? Actually, that's.
I wish we knew someone in Kyle and that we could have burdened them with that nickname.
What's Tim's name? Oh wow, since he said it.
I
Tim
got a new name,
Cheese.
didn't I?
It's Tim Cheese.
Oh, Tim Cheese. That's right. Yeah, that is a pretty new one. We can let you have it. Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Next up is Turkey! Exclamation point.
Turkey Time to Strike.
Oh shit, are we getting our bowling anime finally?
This is the bowling anime. This is an original
No
bowling
fucking
anime.
way.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
fucking way.
A cute girls doing cute things bowling anime.
Fuck
And that's
yeah.
Dude,
basically all
I
I need to know about this show.
I have been looking forward to this show. I know that may be pathetic to any Logans listening to the podcast.
You
but
monster! How dare
I was
you.
pretty sure this was going to get zero hype behind
This has been on my radar for a couple of seasons since it was announced, and I was like, hell, I'll watch this. Cute
Dude,
girls,
fine.
Yuri adjacent bowling anime. Sure, why not?
I've been waiting for a bowling anime since anime I discovered it.
Well,
Like, it's
here it is.
crazy.
It's finally here for you. That's really all it is. It's a club show bowling anime. The bowling shots look nice in the trailer. It's original.
I really wish we had like like a America's Got Talent like X mark, and we'll be like, yes, we love this show, and all three of us hit an instant yes, and Logan hits an instant no.
Logan's gonna be hitting the X button in most of these shows, bro.
But we're
Anyway.
gonna be hitting the X button for most of these shows.
That's true. Anyway, whenever she gets a turkey, she always hits the impregnable split Snake Eyes. I have never heard the 710 split be called Snake Eyes in my life. That's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, I'll probably watch episode 1 of this. This seems fun. It's not gonna beat
When I
Medalist for
split open
sports
your
anime.
legs, I call that the impregnable split.
Okay, man. Yeah. I don't know if we had that much else to say about this, but it seems fun.
It's bowling, baby.
Okay, next up is Utagoe wa Milfour, or the harmony of Milfour.
What is milfoil? I'm
It's a
assuming
pastry.
French.
It's a pastry. It's a very thin wafer pastry.
Oh,
It's
For
like
the record, it's pronounced milfoya.
I didn't want to put that much stank on it because I didn't take French in high school.
I give you permission as someone who did.
Okay. So this is another Cute Girls Doing Cute Things club show. The premise is basically that the girl was going to join the light music club, but was too scared of all of the members because they were too cool. So she gets invited instead into the acapella club, and then she joins the acapella club. So it is an acapella club singing Cute Girls Doing Cute Things club show, which I think is a totally fine, unique enough premise. And honestly, if the season wasn't filled with 10 billion anime I had to watch, I could see myself checking it out, but it's kind of low on the priority totem, and I'd rather watch Turkey, the bowling anime.
yeah, this looks very, very Yuri bait. It probably is Yuri now that I think about it.
I don't think it's pure Yuri, but it's definitely in the bait department for sure. But
Yeah.
I think this looks cute. This was a good trailer. It looks totally fine. I have no problems with this. And like I said, I think acapella is fun. It's a fun little gimmick, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh shit! Are we pitch perfect in this bitch?
It could be.
I
all
just watched that movie
harmonized.
for the first time.
Let's all
like,
harmonize
last week.
right now. Okay. It's terrible. Okay. Anyway, if you're into singing, then check it out. I don't know. It looks fine. Okay. I hate this title. Next up is Watari-kun no XX ga Hokai Suzen, or Watari-kun's censored word is about to collapse, which is one of the worst titles of anything I've ever seen in my life because it tells you nothing. Anyway, Logan.
Yeah, I literally, you want to know what's crazy is that the actual manga doesn't really tell you anything. I read the triple wide first chapter, and I'm still not sure what the like censored word is supposed to be.
I assume it's like world. But why would you censor it?
Why would you censor that? I assumed it was like penis, but my penis isn't collapsible.
Are you sure about that, Logan? Did you not know our penises are collapsible? Did you not know?
I guess maybe
mine folds up like a tent.
Maybe it's just because I'm circumcised. That's what they took from me.
All right.
Sorry, anyway. Yeah, so I don't even know why you would bother with a 60-page chapter 1 if you're just going to be this ridiculously obtuse the whole time. So there's like a guy whose like parents died and he's been bouncing around between relatives, and he's got a little sister and she's like all he's got, and he just wants to hang out with his little sister and be an older brother and all that. And then this like girl shows up who's like some ambiguous figure from his past who, quote, destroyed his garden and has like kind of a yandere feeling bent to her. And she's just sort of like haunting the first chapter for a while because there's just a lot of like normal mundane scenes. And then she'll just show up in the background and he'll like sense her key or something and run off. And anyway, I don't know what the relationship between the guy and the yandere actually was. Like, she could have killed his parents for all I get from this first chapter. Like, just tell me, man. This is removing drama, removing intrigue, because the actual weak melodrama that you're replacing it with doesn't work without context. I need to know why he's afraid of this girl. I need to know why he's running away from her. I need to know why he thinks this is going to make his collapse. And if you really wanted to end to end this so badly on the kiss between them, and I'm reading this notes and I don't even know how that kiss happened. Like, I don't know, just cut 20 pages. It really doesn't matter which one. It's a big long string of like just kind of random like the guy argues with his little sister about something, and then he goes to school for a little while and nothing happens. And he goes to meet with his little sister again, and it's just surely some of this is ready for the scythe. I never even got to figure out what's being censored in the title. Like, I guess world maybe makes sense, but like I don't know. And
I'm going with lawn chair penis until proven otherwise.
Lawn chair penis. Yeah, and for me anyway, it is totally on site for any manga that ends its first chapter with narration to the tune of, and so that was the end of my peaceful days, which I guess for maybe what collapsed, but I don't know. It's completely unnecessary narration every time, and I see it like at least 2 or 3 times every pre-read, and I hate it.
I think this author thinks they're doing something cool and clever with this title, and they're really not. I hate this premise like vehemently because it really focuses in on like he's ostracized because he is like the sole caretaker of his younger sister, and he's really overprotective of her, and kind of weirdly and bordering on misogynistically doesn't let her join clubs at school, which is just this weird offhand comment that really puts me off of this show. I don't know why. It's just like, fucking shut up. Let your sister go to the club or go to the clubs in school, man. And then the yandere shows up, but it just like Logan says, if we don't know what the fucking hook is of the narrative, I don't understand. Like, why would I care? I just get that she's scary and a yandere, and like then there's new and rumors being spread around about him, but I don't know. Also, he looks like the same main character as every main character of all time, and the art design isn't very good.
Every lead for sure.
You could not pay me money to watch this. No thanks. I don't know about Juan.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, it's syscon.
But it isn't even like really syscon. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely not syscon. Like he just has a sister and he's protective of her because he's all she's got, basically.
And everyone
It's
is
not-
like, Siscon, because he's a freak about it. So
Still, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
fine about the show.
it's using Siscon as marketing, which is another doc against it. Okay. Watashi ga koibito ni nareru wake nai jan, muri muri. Muri ja nakata, or there's no freaking way I'll be your lover. Unless.
Unless.
All right, this is the other trashy Yuri of the season. And so she is the main character is trying to move into high school and become a normal girl with normal friends. And the other girl is a wealthy fashion model, and they meet, and once she wants to become friends with her, and the model is in love with her, and she's like, let's be girlfriends instead. And so there's like the conflict is like the one girl wants to be best friends and the other girl wants to be girlfriends, and it's wacky Yuri hijinks ensue. Yet again, I'm going to have to refer to the Tumblr lesbians if this one's actually good or not, because it seems really trashy, and I don't know if it's enough to get me to watch Yuri. So, the trailer looked fine, the visuals were fine, but that's about all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is just Yuri bait.
All right. I mean, I don't think it's Yuri bait. I think this is Yuri, like explicit Yuri.
Oh, explicit Yuri?
Yeah.
But like that's all it is, just like
one of the girls is
no
like
real substance.
wants to be her girlfriend. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I do like the unless. Anyway. Moving on. Okay, we've got Yusha Party wo Tsuiho sarete Shiromai Doshi S rank Bokensha ni Hirowaeru kono Shiro Madoshi ga Kikakugiai Sugiru, or scooped up by an S rank adventurer. And by that long ass name and title, you know what this is mostly about, and we will skip it. No.
Logan read it.
Logan
real?
read it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Just once, I want one of these guys to get fired from his party for being dead weight, and then it just turns out that they were right. I would read expelled from my party for being worthless, then I gave up, and now I run a ramen stall uptown. But I would not read this. That is not what this is. This is a guy getting kicked out of his party and then finding a hot, sexy fox lady in the woods or something.
I've never heard that one before. All right.
This sweet fox. Oh, yo, yans. Yep.
Okay. And the last one before we move into our sequel corner is Zutaboro Reijo wa ane no moto konyakusha ni dekai sareru, or betrothed to my sister's ex. And it is about exactly what that sounds like. This Baron's daughter has an older sister who always overshadows her. And the older sister is betrothed to this guy, and then her sister dies suddenly. So for political reasons, she is going to take her sister's place to this mysterious, dark-skinned, sexy boy prince guy. And I don't know, this just feels like a trashy romance novel, but it's an anime premise instead. And if you're into that, go for it. But the art style and the trailer was hideous, so I wouldn't have high expectations for this. But if this is your thing, then no judgment.
I judge you.
That's not very nice.
Yeah, me, random guy on the internet. I judge you.
Yeah, judging a probably woman for enjoying romance. Interesting.
I'm judging you, Mark.
Not our friend Mark, just a different guy.
Just a random guy.
I'm judging you, Stephanie.
Yeah, I was like a random girl's name just in case.
White woman named.
I'm going in on Stephanie.
My bad. You're probably
Stephanie.
cool.
I know what you did.
Like, comment, and subscribe, Stephanie. Okay, I know that doesn't have. That's not a very good one to go out on, but that does it for our new shows. So now we are going to go and do our sequels. And I'm just going to leave this page up because I don't have the visuals ready. But we're just going to blitz through these real quick. We'll focus on some of the bigger ones. So sequels this season, we have the Arc Knights is getting a new season if you're into that game. Shout outs to the YouTube music page for this anime soundtrack, which is the only way I will engage with it. Next one is a big one, which is Dandadan season 2.
Dandadan season 2, baby.
We had to wait almost a calendar year, like 8 months, to resume what has to be one of the worst cutoff points in recent anime memory. I cannot believe they chose to cut it off there, but at least it's resuming now. Thank God.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not already watching Dandadan and excited for it, it was one of the best shows last year, and you should catch up and get ready for it. But yeah. That's huge. Next up is the second part of 3 of Dr. Stone's Science Future, which I loved the first part of, so I'm excited for that. This is going to follow Senku and what's his name going on the wacky wild adventure to like South America with Dr. X, and then the rest of the team is going to start really grinding their civilization to it. Get ready for space mode, I think. So hopefully it'll be fun. And then next up, Logan, do you want to talk about
Yeah, baby. Grand Blue season 2. I totally thought we were doomed on this one.
Did y'all remember when Grand Blue season 1 came out in like 2017 or whatever?
2018.
Dude.
Yeah, July 2018.
We were new to our seasonal watching
It has
stuff.
been legit 7 years since
it was the first year. This is the first year we did our award show. Was the year that Grand Blue aired. And so it probably
Grand Blue won Anime of the Year, of course.
I think it was in everyone's top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a lot of fun, and I liked some of the stuff that's coming up in Grand Blue. I remember it very vaguely. Read a lot back in 2018, but I'm looking forward to the next stuff in this. I'm excited.
Nichijou is the gold standard for comedy for me. This is very close to reaching that standard, just because like, it is just it's the boy humor. It's college humor.
It is. It's very crass dicks out kind of humor, but God, it's fucking funny.
God damn, those dicks sure are out, and I laugh at that.
Logan still uses the one panel about the manga pre-read to talk about his research. So Grand Blue is always near and dear to our hearts. I still it is still one of the highest rated manga of all time on Mal. So it is. I don't know. I'm surprised it took.
I mean, because Mal is full of dude bros.
Yeah, sure. I've always kind of wondered, like, what makes it so revered, because, like, I liked the first season. It was very funny. But
it is the 11th most the 11th ranked manga in all of Mal. That's so funny.
So maybe this season we'll start going into it.
Me as as a fan, to be honest, I think that may just be like crackheads.
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't. Is there going to be a different OP? I can't imagine anything but the.
I know. My friend.
Anyway,
I do want to point out that the key art they gave out like a pretty normal key art, and then they just updated it very recently with all the men being nude.
Oh yeah, when they're all their asses are out. Yeah.
And like all the girls are reacting accordingly, and it's so funny.
I'm pulling it up there. I hope this doesn't get us demonetized, but there it is. Oh, it's just we're so back. Who's doing it? Zero G. They did the original.
I think they did. Yeah, they did the original.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right. Next up is the second part of Hanako-kun season 2. If you are watching that already. Which is cool.
Did y'all watch any
nope,
of that?
Nope.
Great.
Jido Hanbaki. Vending Machine Isekai is getting a second season. I thought that was okay. I didn't watch it, but shout outs for sticking to the premise.
Bradia did the opening.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. Are they doing the opening for this one?
Yes,
they are. Another new Bradio song. Let's go.
Bradio, please do better shows.
Yeah, please. Okay, another very big one. Kaiju number 8 second core is airing finally. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Which American famous musician did they get to do the OP this time?
Aurora.
Oh, wait,
is.
really?
Apparently.
Wait, really?
Apparently.
The region singer.
Who's Aurora?
She's
a Norwegian singer. She did the "Running with the Wolves" song in Wolfwalkers. If you,
oh my god,
yeah,
what a niche pick.
I know. I actually like her a lot. That's crazy, dude. They got another one. What the hell? Okay, dude, what a season for Western artists doing songs.
They
Anyway,
haven't posted who's doing the ED. So
yeah,
we'll
not yet.
see.
Maybe it's One Direction again, or not One Direction, One Republic. Maybe it's One Direction this time, who's not together anymore.
They brought back Zayn from the dead.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, I really the last episode of Kaiju was one of the best episodes, and I'm excited to see where the show goes from there. It was good. Who knew? Okay, next up is Kako something.
Inazuke,
I don't know.
season 2. A couple of cuckoos.
Oh, it's a couple of cuckoos. Yeah, I didn't watch this. I'm sure Tim did.
No, yeah, Ecchi Bros did.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Purple hair girl is so normal. I love her.
Oh, all right. I'm happy for you. Next up is an even better Ecchi Bros show that I'm sure y'all are all gonna watch, right?
No, we're not. No, we're not. Don't put that energy out in the world. I will not be dragged into this, especially after that ending. Jesus.
Quitter talk is what I'm hearing here. I'm hearing some Quitter talk.
Yes.
Are you telling me after the memed to death recent ending of the manga that you don't want to keep watching this franchise?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, this is Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah,
I thought this was the one with the guy with like the 3 girls that he was banging.
That's kind of Joe. That's a much better one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, anyway, shout outs to the author of this manga who is a fucking freak. Anyway.
No, he loves his wife. He loves his wife so much that he's willing to cuck the MC for it.
I think that he's in love with the anime girl he made and wants to leave his wife for the anime girl, and which is a darker reading of it, but sure. Anyway, next up is Pokemon Concierge Part 2. I need to watch Part 1. I heard it was very cute, but there's more of that, which is great. I love the stop motion art style.
I skipped over Osamatsu, actually.
Oh, Osamatsu-san is getting a 4th season for anyone who cares about that. I forgot about that. Punniru wa Kawaii Slime is getting a 2nd season. I didn't watch season 1. I'm sure if people did, happy for you. Sakamoto Days Part 2 is coming out.
Hey.
That's another big one. I hope that I don't know.
You guys dropped it.
Yeah, I just wasn't very impressed with the adaptation, honestly.
I'm impressed. I said I was gonna watch Part 2 when that comes out, and I'm like, I'm excited for this.
I'm glad that I'm sure it's still pretty fun.
Did Part 1 come out in winter?
Yes.
So Part 1 and Part 2 will count for
the whole part is eligible. Yeah, the whole part is eligible. Okay, the next one is a very big one, which is the new Bunny Girl season, which is going to be a sequel to the movies. We have not seen all of the movies, so we need to get caught up on those. Yeah. But in order to go ahead and watch this, this is a very popular franchise, a very popular light novel series. I am curious to see where they are in the narrative now. It has been a long time since I've watched Dreaming
They're in
Girl.
College now, right?
Yeah, I believe so. They're in college now. If we end up getting caught up on this in time, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I liked the original series, so
Kino Club binge.
Yeah, I mean, I think we only have two.
Yeah, we saw the first one.
Yeah, but I might rewatch Dreaming Girl on my own just to kind of refamiliarize myself. Okay,
fair. Next
up is Sono Abyssal Season 2, which is another very big series, very popular series.
Shit, dude! Oh,
I'm telling you, the season's insane. There's so many sequels.
Oh my god.
Maybe I'll just hop in and kind of randomly watch episodes of this one again too, because I've heard that what this one's adapting is like even better material than in season 1. So this one's very cute if you're into it. It's a very good wholesome romance. Cloverworks is a workhorse, dude. They're doing like 4 shows this season. What the fuck? That's not good. When Cloverworks does this much, something goes wrong. I'm a little worried now. Anyway. There's another season of fucking Shield Hero who's even still watching this horse shit. I don't know. They still got Kevin on the beat.
Who's Kevin?
Pinkin?
Yeah,
I guess so. He is still credited.
Yeah, no, that's like one of his like starting shows.
Yeah. I don't know why you would possibly want to still be watching the show, but more power to you if you want.
Yeah. I heard it like really went down the drain after.
Dude, 2. The 7th Prince, fucking Shota show, horny Shota show, is getting a 2nd season.
It is?
Yeah. Some people really like this one. I don't know. Not for me. Good for you. All right, the last 2 are real, so we'll spend some time talking about them, and we'll call it a day. Okay. big one, Yofukashi no Uta season 2 is finally coming out.
Fuck yeah.
Very excited about
Creepy
this.
Nuts song too.
Yeah, maybe 2 new Creepy Nuts songs actually.
Yeah, well, the ending is not confirmed yet, but the
But
opening
I would be
is...
surprised if they didn't get them to do both. But yeah. I'm very pumped about this. I liked season 1 a lot, and I'm excited, especially in the arc that is being covered in season 2, because it has the detective character and she's the best. So yeah, not much else to say about this one, but I'm looking forward to it. And then last but definitely not least, we have new panty and stocking with garter belt.
Fuck yes. Fuck
After
yes. Fuck
10
yes.
billion
fuck yes.
years, after 10 billion years, this is finally coming out. Somehow.
This is my actual most anticipated show of the year.
Yeah, Studio Trigger taking up the mantle. Imaishi is back as the director and head writer. It is getting a sequel after the sort of infamous ending. So
literally 15 years in the making.
Yeah, absolutely wild to see this one come back after all these years. Are you gonna watch the dub one?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's gonna be simul-dubbed. I don't think so, at least. If it is, I will watch the dub.
Okay.
But I actually watched the Japanese first, and then I saw the dub like when it came out, and I actually didn't like the dub at first. But over the time, I'm like, no, never mind. The dub is so much better.
So,
because like the dub,
well, if they're not gonna get the same VAs though, I don't know.
For the dub, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, what if they don't? What if they can't get them? I don't know.
They can and they will, and because the voice actors love their. Oh, okay, the only one they'll have to replace is Garter Belt, because he was voiced by Christopher Sabat, aka Vegeta, who is a white man.
Yeah.
So they can't get him. He even said himself, they're like, if they ever make a new Panty Stalking, I can't come back as Garter Belt. I can't
That's
do
valid.
It. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
So they're absolutely gonna replace him, but like everyone else, like Monica Real and Jamie Marks, they're absolutely gonna come back as Panty and Stalking.
That's cool. Yeah, I am.
You guys need to binge the show.
You're ruining my street cred.
You are fake fans, fake Trigger fans.
Shut up. I've seen some of it. Anyway, yeah, this is a huge one. I mean, obviously, anytime Trigger is making something new, it's exciting. But for Trigger to follow up and do a sequel on one of their like classic Gainax era shows is pretty spectacular. So, yeah, thank you, Imaishi, for finally coming out of the woodwork and doing another show. And I'll see you again in like 4 years or whatever. He did Edge Runners, right? Yeah.
He did Edge Runners. Yeah, he worked on that. So it's been like what, 2-3 years?
And honestly, there are some rumors that there might be another Edge Runners show at some point. There might be another Cyber.
I mean, yeah, it was so successful. Like, I'd be down.
We'll see. But yeah, that's it. That's our last one for our big sequel. All right. It is top 3 time. Everyone, please make a top 3 list, and let's go through our top 3 most anticipated shows.
Okay, since I always go first and I'm never ready.
No one's ever ready.
So yeah, no sequels. I'm trying not to like do repeats, but like I know for a goddamn fact we're all gonna say City the Animation for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
So I think I'm gonna cut that one out just because we're all gonna say it. So for me, Gachi Akuda for sure. Food Court, that Food Court show, like I definitely want to check that out. And that one really cute wholesome romance show, what was that called? Kaoru Hana wa Rin Chusaku, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
That one.
I'm very excited
talking about Watari Kun's blank is about to collapse.
Yeah,
I will strangle you.
Okay. My turn, and if we're just avoiding City, I will give a tentative shout out to Clevites, who I hope is better than. Actually, no, I'm gonna say Bullet instead of that one because I'm a little bit more confident. And then I will also say Karu Hanawa Rin Dusaku just because I have high hopes about that adaptation. And then Leviathan, obviously. That's gotta be my number one.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So in no particular order, I guess if City is banned, then I'm going to say Leviathan, Night of the Living Cat, and I guess a really tentative one on Takapi. But
Yeah,
Which one's Takapi?
the one,
that was
the
the
ONA
edgy
one.
Doraemon,
That's
Oh,
the
that
one.
alien one.
the one that everybody thought was Inio Asano.
All right, and Tim.
Or Banning City.
Banning
Banning
City
City.
and banning sequels.
Karuhana, Gacha Kuda, and Hikaru.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Hikaru's also-
Hikaru. Yeah, that one also was a potential. Okay, cool. There is, I think, plenty to watch this season if you are interested across like a million different genres and also sequels to, I don't know, what feels like most big popular anime from the recent past 5 years. So I'm sure you got plenty to watch. We're gonna be drowning in it here, but
Yeah,
we
I
will
think
hit
we
you
actually
back up.
said something like pretty different like this season. Like all of us said like at least two different shows.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, and we weren't even
Yeah,
considering
well,
sequels.
the
so-
Leviathan pay over here. We're obviously going to say Leviathan.
That's
Yeah.
right. We're in the pocket.
I mean, they
of
said
big
Leviathan, and then me and you
Leviathan
said
sweep.
Gacha.
All right. With that, we are finally done with this fucking 3-hour episode. Jesus Christ. Gonna be
Christ.
miserable to edit. I'm not surprised. There's just so much shit to get through. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you for sticking with us if you did, and we will see you guys next time.
Later.